Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it. My name's Jay Milne. #Blue. Our sports update deliverer. The Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be on to something. All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
Well, Kris Knoblauch has made history. He has become the first former U of A Golden Bears hockey player to be fired as head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Of course, that was finally announced by the team at about 8:30 this morning. Mark Stuart, assistant coach, also let go, and the search is on for the new guy. Is it going to be Bruce Cassidy? Is it going to be somebody else? Well, just more of the ongoing storylines around this team. That, of course, is the focal point of today's show. Reid Wilkins with you. Jay Milne was just in on EST Afternoons with Joaquin Gage, so I am flying solo today, sort of. Ben Thompson is here at the technical desk. Tom Gazola is going to hop on a little bit later. Dustin Nielsen is going to hop on a little bit later. We have tons of key comments from Stan Bowman today, who did an availability over Zoom that lasted a little over half an hour, started at 10 a.m., went to about 10:33 or so. I was in on that, got to ask a couple questions as well. And you will be a big part of this program as well. Everybody, I have been here before, haven't I? You have as well, but I've been here for you before. Whether it was Todd McClellan or Dave Tippett or Jay Woodcroft or some of the GM or president changes we've had or all that kind of stuff. We've been here before. I can probably guess the mood of a lot of you. Well, I'm here to listen. This is a safe place to vent. I may not agree with you. That's fine. I'll do my best to tolerate you to a degree, depending on your demeanor. But I am here for you. 780-218-9999 is how you can text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino has the Tap 25 happy hour, $5.25 drinks, all beers, including bottled draft, import and domestic, select premium well highballs, and select premium wine served at Tap 25, Center Bar, Onyx, and on the casino floor. This is available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., rivercreeresort.com. Ben Thompson's going to keep an eye on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You fine doing that, Ben? I know I'm throwing a lot of work at you.
Yeah, it's all good.
You got to do the sports updates. You got to make sure all the commercials run. You got to get the guests on the show. You're going to have to banter with me at some point, or maybe a lot.
It's okay.
And you're going to have to keep an eye on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You, of course, can email as well, reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, Reid, R-E-I-D. If you've been writing R-I-E-D and wondering why I don't reply or ever read your emails on air, that's because there is no such email address, R-E-I-D, at edmontonsportstalk.com. You can stream us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Those are excellent audio streaming apps. Make us a favorite. Make us a preset. Let other people know where they can find us as well. And, of course, we also have the video element on YouTube. The channel is Edmonton Sports Talk. Subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk if you haven't already. We are less than 100 subscribers away from 15,000, which would be an incredible milestone. And while you are on YouTube on this show, give us a thumbs up. Click that like button.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, we want to get to at least 100 thumbs today. Hopefully, we might even maybe reach our ultimate show goal of 100. But for sure, we want to get to at least 100. So don't be a pleasure delayer. Get in there and click right away. And, of course, once you click the like button, then click the share button. And send the show link off to several other people who you know. Or maybe even strangers. Just put in random emails and send them, johnsmith@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I wonder, so side note here. My one of my buddies, his email, his name is not what's in the email. Not even close. His email, I don't remember if it's Hotmail, Yahoo, Gmail. It's probably either Yahoo or Hotmail because he's had it for quite a long time. is Warren Moon at whatever.com. Like, could you imagine Warren Moon setting up his email? Like, what?
It's taken.
Why is it taken? I'm actually Warren Moon. So, anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. Send the show link off to other people that you know. Get them involved in our great community here at Edmonton Sports Talk. By the way, Benny J will be sending you words of the day to conclude the show just before 6 o'clock. What else is coming up? We do have games to discuss. Can we keep an eye on the Habs and the Sabres? That's a 5 o'clock game?
Yep, 5
I think
o'clock
about 5:15 they drop the puck. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch a lot of golf today. But the PGA Championship is going on. You'll keep us updated on that. We do have a bit of a story from that's kind of funny that I think we'll get into here, or one of our colleagues here will get into in a few minutes. So here we go. Another coaching change here in Edmonton. Kris Knoblauch has been dismissed. Pretty good tenure overall. He takes over with the team in the dumps. They have an 8-game winning streak shortly after he's hired. They lose 3 in a row. Then they win 16 straight. They make it to the Stanley Cup final. They lose in Game 7 after being down 3-0. They don't have quite as good a regular season in his first full year. But, of course, they make the playoffs. They stumble early against L.A. And then, once they were down 2-0 against L.A., didn't they then win what would have been 13 of their next 15 games?
Yes.
4 straight against L.A., 4 out of 5 against Vegas, 4 out of 5 against Dallas, and then they won Game 1 against Florida. But then ultimately they were just outmatched by the Florida Panthers. They go through this year, and there were a lot of problems and I think underwhelming things about the Oilers all season long, and that ultimately leads to his dismissal. So, look, there are a lot of ways to discuss this, everybody, but I kind of want to ask, I want to sort of boil it down, okay? Because I know many of you, I'm sure, have several grievances, and I know many of you are long-suffering fans of the team. And now I think now we can say even younger fans have suffered,
Yep.
If you're of my vintage, you can remember very good teams, champion teams in the 1980s, and then the Oilers, quite frankly, becoming quite irrelevant for maybe a couple of decades, or from a bubble team to missing the playoffs and kind of being a laughing stock and all that kind of stuff. Maybe if you didn't experience the 1980s, maybe what I found, Ben, too, was odd that there is a generation of fans, probably your age-ish. What are you, like 28, 17?
23.
You're 23?
23.
So that means you were born in what, 1999?
03.
2003?
Yep.
Well, maybe not. Maybe people now even slightly older than you. Because so by the time you were 10, it was the tail end of them missing the playoffs. Like, you were aware of it, but it's not like you, as a 4-year-old, you were worried about who they were drafting or why isn't Magnus P.R.V. going to turn out or whatever.
I remember.
And then they get McDavid, and then they kind of become a playoff team.
That's
the last 7 years. So
yeah,
even for someone your age, the decade of darkness was in your lifetime, but it wasn't as I mean, like for me, I was born in 1974. But I can't really tell you about the Montreal teams in the late 70s. Like, I remember the Islanders winning a couple of their cups and then the Oilers being good, once I was 10, 11, 12, 13, all that kind of stuff. And I found that, correct me if I'm wrong, that a lot of fans who were coming of age as a hockey fan, like maybe you're 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, picked other teams. Like, I know a guy, like his son was a Carolina Hurricanes fan.
Right.
Probably still is, because he was like following hockey in 2006, and then Carolina beat Edmonton, and then Edmonton sucked, so he just kind of was like, well, I'll cheer for Carolina. Mm-hmm. They beat Edmonton. There might have been a little bit, I don't know if there was. You guys can tell me in your lives if you know anything. But then now, people your age and younger, Ben, they've seen the Oilers be good, but now they're having their own heartbreak. Yeah. Maybe it's not the heartbreak of the team stinking, but it's the heartbreak of like if you're 14 you're probably saying to yourself, we're in the playoffs every year. I recognize McDavid is really good, and we've never won the cup. When am I going to get to see it?
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa saw it.
Yeah.
Uncle Louis saw it. When am I going to get to see it?
A lot of people my age are actually Pittsburgh Penguins fans or Chicago Blackhawks fans, mainly due to Sidney Crosby being a big name out in Pittsburgh, Patrick Kane in Chicago, and they were winning cups right when we were starting to kind of get into our fandom of hockey, right around the age where you start to pick it up a little bit.
Right.
For me, it was different where I saw Connor McDavid get drafted as an Edmonton Oiler, and that's when my fandom really grew. That's where it became, okay, like I followed the team. I knew it was a decade dark. I remember sitting on the couch with my dad, started the first game, I don't know, it was 2012 or something. I was like, they're going to make the playoffs, Dad. My dad's like, no, they're not, kid. They're not making the playoffs.
Right. You can't make up 18 points in 6 games.
Yes.
It's impossible.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I watched a little bit of Decade Darkness, but obviously wasn't that into it. But McDavid was like the first, like, whoa, okay, I am now a fan.
Yeah, something's happening.
Yes.
Here.
And so from there, obviously it's been following the team ever since. And don't get me wrong, the 2018 and 2019 Oilers were a massive disappointment. Those were
So for people your age, that
was the big, like,
they're
oh
in
my
17.
goodness,
They
like,
actually win a round.
Yes.
Right.
The sky's the limit for what this team can do. They got the young core. Everything's going great in 2017, and all of a sudden, Peter Chiarelli does Peter Chiarelli, and all of a sudden, we're talking about this team's needing to like retool and restructure themselves. So
I guess what I'm getting at is like there's frustration that now perhaps is being experienced by all generations of fans. Though maybe it's coming from different platforms or maybe different depths of experience, but it's frustration all around. And I remember this is I hope I can tell this story. So people are probably familiar with who Paige Martin is.
Yes.
She's with Oilers Plus, probably about 3 years. Because I think, she joined late in the season when they wound up losing to Vegas, which was pretty good. Like they won 9 or 10 in a row at home.
Yep.
They were looking pretty good. They beat LA in the first round. The next season starts with Woodcroft, and the next season starts and they're bad, and Woodcroft gets fired. I remember talking to her. I'm like, yeah, when you came in, like the team was flying high, eh? Mm-hmm. And I was like, she's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, no, now it's back to normal. Coaches getting fired and everybody being miserable. Of course, I was joking around to some extent, but I mean, this is not like I've been through this, and whether it's Edmonton or not, it's happened more often in Edmonton. Coaches don't coach a long time in the NHL. We're doing this again in the McDavid-Draisaitl era, where it's like, when is a coach going to get these guys to the top? Because they're about halfway through their careers now, maybe even a little past halfway, depending on how long they play. It is interesting, though, dealing with something like this. The day Knoblauch replaced Woodcroft, I think it was a Sunday, wasn't it? So I was at my previous job. And this was, as I've told the story, like by this point, we had a boss who was not based in Edmonton. He was based in Calgary and running Ched and some Calgary stations. And, he kind of texted me and Stoff and Jack and whoever and was like, can you guys mobilize and do a show today? And we're like, yeah, no problem. So we cut into coverage. I think Bob and I bantered. We took the news conference. I think Bob bantered a bit. I think I, ran some stuff, wrapped it up. And then, your boss sends you the text after, hey, like, good job, guys. Like, that sounded great. Like, you guys put it all together so quickly.
Yep.
And I was kind of thinking to myself, yeah, we know how to do a coach firing show. It's not like we pretty much, it's not like, this is not stunning. This is like, oh my God, I've never done this before. How do I handle it? So anyway, there is a little bit of a here we go again. But here's what I'm kind of getting at in a long-winded fashion. Because I started talking about frustration. Mm-hmm. So I know there's frustration with Bowman, with Jackson, with Cates, for like varying degree. Like some are frustrated with all of them. Some people are frustrated with some. Frustration maybe with some of the players. I guess the heart of what I want to ask people today is, even if you are irritated or upset with other parts of the franchise or think that there is underachieving in playing, scouting, managing, whatever, the heart of today I want to ask is, and even put aside Knoblauch's contract extension and all this, are you glad that there's going to be a new head coach for next year? Like at the heart of all this, do you, when I'm talking to the individual yous, all the individual yous out there, are you happy that there's going to be a new head coach? Do you think the odds are, whether it's Cassidy or not, they will have a new head coach? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'll speak for myself. I am happy with the change. I've talked about how I thought that I think there needs to be a new relationship between the players on this team and the coach, and I'll dive into that a little bit later on in the show. To me, Kris Knoblauch, I can't tell you the exact system he runs. I don't think anyone can. Okay, no one's in the dressing room here, except for you doing media scrums. Like we don't fully know what the deal is. With that being said, I think there needs to be a new relationship. I think there needs to be some accountability held from the coach. I think Knoblauch let guys go off a little bit too easily. And just from everything I've seen, Bruce Cassidy does not allow that. He doesn't take any bleep. He is a hard-nosed coach, but in the end, he expects winning. And that's the number one thing for the Oilers right now. They need to be focused on winning. And to me, when you look into that next season, evaluating both coaches, Kris Knoblauch or Bruce Cassidy, depending if he gets here, we still isn't for sure yet. But it certainly looks like it.
Yeah.
If it's Bruce Cassidy, I'm taking Bruce Cassidy over Kris Knoblauch to coach this team to a Stanley Cup. So from my perspective, I'm happy with the change. I think it was needed. That being said, this team is absolutely not done in terms of the work they need to do. There's a checklist. And like we were talking about in afternoons, Gager brought up, like, where does this rank on your to-do list? And you were mentioning it was like, probably below management needed to be changed. Doesn't look like that's going to happen this summer, but you got to hope this management changes some of the areas that need to be changed. They felt like the coaching was that spot. They did that. Let's see what else they do the rest of the summer.
All right, so we're going to get to some of the comments that Bowman made today. As I usually like to do, I've cut up clips to get to the meat of it and some of the key storylines that I think are worth talking about. And again, that's the. I'll ask that as sort of the base question today. If you're able to separate your feelings about other areas of the Oilers aside, do you agree with changing the coach? And we don't even know what the change. I guess you just agree that Knoblauch shouldn't coach the team anymore. Mm-hmm. We can certainly discuss that because that's really the decision that was made today. Again, it looks like Bowman will be back. We'll see what happens with the players. I think there needs to be some serious moves there. I don't know how much they can do, but those are some of the things we're going to dive into throughout the course of the day. Of course, you can post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. I think one of your friends was in there, Benny.
Really?
Yeah, someone was a very big supporter of some of the things that you said.
Yes, very much so.
It was quite eloquent in how
completely
they
did not understand what I was talking about,
Yeah.
Actually. It was not the topic he thought I was talking about. It was funny.
Well, I'm sure that person doesn't understand a lot.
Probably.
Fair assessment. All right. Let's get to our afternoon headlines presented by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. You can stream them on iHeart today. This is Chet Palmer with your sports report. Coach Nobby was sent packing by unsteady stand. Hey, Nobby, my beer league team needs a coach. Our nuclear option? A bottle of Jack Daniels. I wonder if the new guy can draw up some defending. Hey, Benny Thompson, is that a dry erase marker in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Garrett Higo was late to his tee time at the PGA. Higo? More like he's slow. I'm Chet Palmer.
I love being on this side of Chet Palmer. I usually get to see what Chet Palmer writes before he brings it to Jason Milne. And now I'm on the other end of it. Not knowing until showtime. So that was fun.
Yeah, there you go. A little bit. Big day for Chet. I imagine he's covered quite a few coaching changes and GM changes and trades and all that kind of stuff over the course of his career. I mean, he's typing that as he's delivering it. That's so up to the minute that is. You can always hear the typewriter in the background. Afternoon headlines for 100.3 The Bear. So it is the time of the show where we always try to do something a little bit fun or different or creative, and really to help to hopefully showcase some of your creativity too. It's the off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job their very best can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. All right. I would like you to give us other ways to say that somebody has been fired besides relieved of their duties. Okay?
This should be fun.
So, that's kind of the buzzword. Like, here's the press release the Oilers sent out today. Oilers relieve Knoblauch and Stuart of coaching duties. I like how they use the word relieve.
Yes.
Like, where it's like, you know what? It was a burden on them. We'll give them some relief by telling them they're no longer employed in that position.
Well, with how news has come out the past couple of days, I'm sure Knoblauch is actually relieved to have his job taken away with all the nonsense that has been reported.
Well, yeah, some of the stuff that was going around.
Yes.
So I have a couple. So other than relieved of duties, give us alternative wording for someone being fired. Okay. So, and I've actually heard this one. Someone actually said this to me. It was a colleague I had at a previous job who I wasn't close to, but I ran into him, like years later. And I was like, oh, whatever happened to you at such and such a place? And he told me he was packaged out. I think that's a buzzword in the world today, isn't it? I was packaged out, or somebody was packaged out. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, geez, what are we going to do with those stiffs down in delivery? Well, we could package them out. Oh, that's nice. Yes, you get a nice package as you're relieved of your duties.
Yes.
Not only do you get relief, you also get a package. You're packaged out. I think we're gonna have, because let's face it, Ben, you and I don't work in the real world. Like we're very lucky.
Very different.
We're very lucky. But probably there are some corporate buzzwords and phrases that people have experienced in their lives. Here's another one. Well, I've been repositioned by my employer. Hey, Chuck, were you on the rise there? Were you like a VP? Yeah. Oh, yes, but I've since been repositioned by my employer.
Right. Repositioned.
Oh, really? Oh, like
out of the
to another VP position? No, out of the company.
Yeah. Confide in the nasty chat says you've been canned. Sounds regular.
Yeah, but I'm kind of looking for ones that are, but certainly that's been one. But
downsized from James.
Like, here's a good one from Les. I've been severed from responsibility.
Yeah.
Casino Dealer J. Congratulations to Kris Knoblauch, who has been promoted to spectator. Yeah, that's
there you go.
Stuff like where you're trying to put a positive, not a positive spin.
Was consequent.
Yes.
Uncoupled. This is great.
Yeah, Corey, I understand that technically Knoblauch wasn't fired in the nasty chat. I explained that yesterday. That's why Cassidy is still an employee, but still he's been fired as the coach.
Yeah,
I mean he may remain with the other team, but I mean we're Corey, we're having some fun and being creative here. Right. I understand the legal technicalities of it.
The Zulu in the River Cree Resort Casino inbox 780-218-999 says, please accept this unpaid vacation on behalf of the company.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, do you remember there was a Simpsons episode? I can't remember what Homer was doing. It was one where he was growing tomatoes or something, but he had a side hustle.
Yeah.
So he wasn't going to the power plant. And he comes home and Marge goes, Homer, work called. They said if you don't come in tomorrow, don't bother coming in Monday. And he was like, woohoo, 4-day weekend. So,
it is on a paid vacation in a way.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see what we have coming in with that. The off-topic topic for William Huff. Other than saying that someone is relieved of their duties, give us alternative, preferably kind of fancy or positive spin wording for someone being let go from their job. Corey says Kris was healthy scratched from coaching.
There you go.
That's good. He was healthy. He's been healthy scratched from coaching. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We have comments from Stan Bowman coming up. Of course, let old Wilkie know how you feel. It's okay. I'll listen. I can't promise I'll be supportive. I'll try. Well, I'll be supportive by listening.
Yeah. We're an open ear here.
I have open ears, and I'll try to have an open mind. I mean, we've been through this before, everybody. Well, unless there's like some 6-year-old listening for the first time, which there could be. Jay's play of the day, he did leave one for that, so we'll get to that. Tom Gazola at 4 o'clock. Here's Ben with a sports update.
The Edmonton Oilers have parted ways with head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart after both were relieved of their duties earlier today. Knoblauch took over during the 2023-24 season and posted an 135-77-21 record while guiding Edmonton to back-to-back Stanley Cup final appearances. The organization has yet to announce replacements as the coaching search officially gets underway. NHL playoff action continues with 2 games on the schedule. The Canadiens and Sabres square off at 5, with that series tied at 2, while the Golden Knights look to eliminate the Ducks at 7:30, with Vegas leading the series 3-2. Meanwhile, in Vancouver, the Canucks have named Henrik and Daniel Sedin co-presidents of the organization, while Ryan Johnson has been promoted to general manager. The PGA Championship is underway at Uranimink. Gets going. There's a 6-way tie for first place, all sitting at 3 under. MLB action around today. There was the Pirates beating the Rockies 7-2. The Reds beating up on the Nationals 15-1. Mets beating the Tigers 9-4. The Brewers beating the Padres 7-1. The Twins beating the Marlins 9-1. Mariners over Astros 8-3. Athletics and Cardinals are still duking it out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Athletics up 4-3. Later today, the Phillies and Red Sox will go at it. The Cubs and Braves, Royals, White Sox, and Giants and Dodgers to end off the night. The sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. From custom homes to small renovations, Edmonton's top builders and contractors rely on Paramount Flooring. Their in-house team handles everything from selections to completions, keeping projects on track and on time. Visit their showroom, open 7 days a week, or find them at ParamountFlooring.ca. More of the Reid Wilkins Show coming up on the other side of the break. I'm Ben Thompson. You're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
Does a coach who had an excellent NHL playing career automatically carry more clout when he walks into a dressing room?
For me, I would say yes. All the coaches that I had in North America, and even in Europe too, they were all former players. I had Claude Julien. I had, obviously, Ron Lowe.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
We have what you're looking for. GD Liquidators is Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items since 1987. You'll find what you want when you want it. Give us a call, visit us in-store, or check out the monthly auctions at gdliquidators.com. 100% Canadian-owned and operated. We have what you are looking for. GD Liquidators.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said great job? Happy hour. Your boss said per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon. Kris Knoblauch out as head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Mark Stuart, assistant, also relieved of his duties. Okay, this is not an off-topic comment, but this is really good from Pizza Boy in the Nazi chat. The positive in all of this is that with this firing, the Oilers now have enough coaching stamps that they get a free foot-long sandwich. That's a clever awesome. That's a clever bit of sarcasm.
Like a Bootskis in the Nazi chat too. This is related to the off-topic topic. Everyone who still works here, please step forward. ... Not so fast, Knoblauch.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that one. That's our off-topic topic. Alternative wording for being fired or let go from your job, whatever you want to call it. By the way, portions of this hour presented by Commonwealth Stadium. Yeah, that big match coming up right on June 1st. Road to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Canada taking on Uzbekistan. Part of the build-up for FIFA World Cup 2026. You can get your tickets now at canadasoccer.com or at Ticketmaster. Also, stay tuned for a chance to win your way in. I think next week on this show, we're going to be giving away tickets to that game. And, portions of this hour presented by Commonwealth Stadium. Before we get to some Bowman stuff, or do we have a couple more off-topic submissions?
Yeah, we did. Uncle Jesse in the text line, River Cree Resort Casino text line says, Mark Stuart is done defending his defense. That's one of the ways you can take it. What else we got here? There was a Adam in Quebec City. Kris Knoblauch is undertaking new career orientations. That's
orientations. Yes. Wow, not even opportunities. No orientations. Okay,
so a lot of different ones. We'll get to them throughout the show. These are pretty good.
All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Tom Gazola coming up at 4 o'clock. Dustin Nielsen's going to join us at 5. We have plenty of comments from Chris Bowman as well. I can tell you tomorrow, is it all day? The whole day?
The whole day.
For part of Ben Stelter month with Popeyes. So we're at the Popeyes, what is it? I don't know the exact address, like 170th Street and 100th Ave.
It's by the Superstore on the west end.
Yeah,
here.
so we did this last year as well.
Yes.
And so we'll be there all day, including this show. So that's always good to get out there and support the Ben Stelter Foundation and do a show from Popeyes where they have a lot of very delicious food. Well, where to begin here, Benny? I guess we'll maybe start at the beginning. That's usually a good place to start, and then I suppose we can branch out from there, or maybe even see where the conversation takes us. So we did the Zoom availability with Stan Bowman today, and look, here's the thing, right? Back on whatever it was, October 2nd or 3rd, I think. I can't remember the exact day. It's like, here's a 3-year extension for this coach. He's gone to the final twice. We see the game pretty much the same way. And now he's gone. So, of course, I think it was Rob Tichkowski from Post Media that got the first question. And basically, why fire Kris Knoblauch after you gave him an extension before the season?
This is a tough decision, no question. Looking back at the way we ended the previous season, falling just short of the Stanley Cup, and the 2 seasons that Kris had with the team, it was it was a decision we made that we felt that he had earned that contract extension. And then as this season went on, at the end of the year, when I met with the group in the media and my availability, I mentioned that we were going to do a thorough review to try to understand, how we got to this point. We had a disappointing end to our season, losing in the first round. And when you take the season as a whole, it was a year we never were able to get it going. It wasn't just a slow start or maybe a tough stretch in the middle of the year. Like, those things happen to all teams. You have some ups and downs, but we didn't have a lot of ups this year. We had, we were kind of right around the middle all year long. When we performed our analysis and our review about where we headed as a team, we just felt that we needed a different voice to lead us to where we want to get to. So, difficult decision without a doubt. But it was based upon the way this entire year played out, not just, small sections or just the playoffs. It was really the total year.
Okay, so I guess what I'm hearing there is that 8 months ago, whatever it was, Stan Bowman believed in Kris Knoblauch, and then he's basically saying Kris Knoblauch didn't do much all season long to reinforce that belief. That's what I'm hearing there, because he says it's not one part of the season.
Yes.
Right? He's not saying, and again, everybody, I want you to separate, because sometimes when I go over this, people are like, "Oh, but Reid, you like." Okay, I'm just going over it. I'm neither agreeing or disagreeing, and I'm trying to analyze it and think about it. So he's basically saying they never really caught fire this season.
They never did.
They never caught fire. They never played with a lot of spark. They never sort of looked dangerous with that. Like they always kind of looked like, well, where are they? Where's the real team? Is this the real team? So Bowman has decided that Knoblauch didn't do enough to provide that spark. He said we need a different voice to lead us. Now, again, everybody, in talking about this, I'm not letting Bowman off the hook for anything, but mainly today we're talking about the coaching decision. He said it was a disappointing end, but this wasn't just done because of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So again, there's another discussion point. Whether you like Bowman or not, and whether you like Bowman's work or not, do you buy that from him in terms of what he's saying about the coach? Okay? I mean, we can blast Bowman all we want, and he looks like he's going to have the job going forward, but you can also listen to what he says today and think, okay, is that valid or not in terms of what he's saying about Knoblauch and some of the players, and even about himself, as we're going to get to. I mean, I think that we all know that. I would think it's a given. I don't know if anybody's going to argue with me that it was a not disjointed, but it was kind of like a halting year. Like they never, took them a long time to win 3 games in a row. Then they won 5 in a row, and then they get into the playoffs and say, oh, maybe there's a little bit of glimmer of hope. And then really Anaheim controlled that series. I mean, you could even argue the Oilers were fortunate to take it to 6 if you look at how some of the games played out. So I guess he's saying, okay, the easiest thing for me to change is to change the coach, because he never found that spark or got them to play a certain way. Now I will include some of Bowman's moves in this. We were never able to get going. Well, can you get it going with Trent Frederick on your roster?
Yep.
Can you get it going with inconsistent and at times downright poor goaltending? Can you get it going with that? So I guess that's the question. But that's Bowman's general explanation of why there was a coaching change. And he's going to have more comments along those lines that I think are worth listening to and getting into as well. Klima's Lid says, Stan did a thorough review of himself and determined he did a great job. Well, I know Klima's Lid is joking around, but I don't think Bowman was never in a position to fire himself. But I mean, that's a perfectly defensible argument. Should have Bowman been dismissed, and then a new GM can come in and decide everything? Should have everybody just been wiped out? These are all questions that we can look into. I'll just review, Benny and everybody, my criticisms of Knoblauch. Okay, let me start from a different point here first, Ben. There are two criticisms of Knoblauch that I, as a talk show host, often heard from the listeners. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm not saying all of you out there felt this way, but I feel like there was a substantial amount of you that felt this way. And I don't feel the same way when it comes to these 2 points, and that's fine. And maybe I'll be proven to be wrong, or someday change my mind, or maybe I won't. But he got criticized for line shuffling.
Yep,
that generally didn't bother me, because I think most coaches do that. That's a tactic coaches have. We saw Cooper do it in the Olympics with all these big guns on the roster. Most of you watch the Oilers very closely. You probably don't watch their opponents' lines very closely. Lines do get moved around. Now, I know a lot of people might say, well, Reid, I've been watching the playoffs and the lines seem to be the same every game. Well, that's because all these teams are doing well. Mm-hmm. They've all won a round and are advancing, so you're probably not going to see as much tinkering. So that didn't freak me out as much. No, the ice time usage sometimes, yes. That would be a bit of a criticism I would have. But the line juggling itself really didn't bother me overall. The other thing that I often hear is Knoblauch too monotone post game, doesn't show any fire, don't like his interviews. Again, I generally don't look at that and say, well, this makes me think a guy is a good or bad coach. Because, yes, there's the Tortorella outburst aside, but most coaches kind of decide how they're going to deal with media, or probably fans if they run into them in public and all that kind of stuff. So that's how Knoblauch decided he was going to be. I think behind the scenes, he had more fire than he did publicly. Now, it's still valid to discuss, did he have enough or did he show enough? That's fair. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that as we go on. But generally, those two platforms for criticism of Knoblauch are not two of the platforms I sit on.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you can't do it. I've heard all the arguments in favor of those things. I think I understand them. And if you want to present that to me today, for sure, go ahead. But generally, I don't look at it that way. But here's what I started to wonder about Knoblauch as we saw him through his tenure, and maybe even starting last year in last year's Stanley Cup final, and especially when McDavid came out and said we kept doing the same things over and over again and beating our head against the wall, and we couldn't get the puck into their end or forecheck or whatever. Okay, if something's not working to the extent that your season is going to end, you kind of got to try something different. And I think we saw that from Knoblauch again in this playoff series. And you heard me say it, Ben. The Oilers are playing right into the Ducks' hand. Yep. Ducks' hands, right into their wings.
Yeah, basically.
The Ducks know how the Oilers want to play.
Yep.
The Oilers keep trying to play that way, and Anaheim keeps denying it. So I wondered then about Knoblauch's tactical adjustment ability. And maybe this kind of bundles into my second point, is I heard Knoblauch speak a lot because from day one he did it. When he was asked, what's this team missing? He said, I've been watching them, and I see a team that's not playing with a lot of confidence. I think he wanted players to feel good, wanted them to be empowered to make plays, which is an important part of coaching. But did he almost rely on that too much? Like, hey, just feel good. Like, just play to your strengths. Hey, Leon, like, you've scored 50 goals, 4 times, whatever.
Go play the game how you see it.
You've got a ton of overtime goals in the playoffs. You're a clutch guy. Just go and keep doing that.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe like, okay, Leon, you're awesome. But man, oh man, Anaheim's choking us off every time we come up through the. We gotta just do this, and then we'll go, right? So those are kind of my two things about Knoblauch. Now, I don't think he's a terrible coach. I think he did a lot of good things, and I do think his the importance he placed on maybe a player feeling good or feeling confident, that's not a bad thing. in and of itself. I just wonder if he relied on that too much.
I think so. I think it's definitely a possibility. I heard something a couple months ago about how maybe there is a disconnect from players and Knoblauch. From everything we've seen and everything we know about Kris Knoblauch, he seems like you were saying, very just a confidence skate. You go play the game how you see it. And like you were saying, sometimes when a team has figured it out a little bit, he's not allowing you to adjust. He's not making you adjust. He's okay. Just go play your style. We saw it with the Florida series, where Connor McDavid speaks after his season just got ended, and he's saying we're doing the same thing or bang our heads against the wall over and over and over. Is that a part of what Kris Knoblauch's coaching ability? Maybe. And so I can't tell you that Bruce Cassidy is the exact guy for that, or whatever coach is out there that we expect will be replacing Kris Knoblauch. That's going to be a topic of discussion of can they adjust to that. But from everything I saw of Kris Knoblauch, though, I think a new voice and a change of coach can benefit this team on top of rest. There's just one thing to add to the Oilers in terms of regrouping and coming back better next season. There's just one ingredient into what this team needs to change. Again, they're not done, but I'm personally for the change they made today. And like you were saying, some of the arguments of the criticism for Knoblauch can be skewed because they just focus on the Oilers. But I think there is some criticism that is definitely fair for Kris Knoblauch.
James in the Nasty Chat says there were lots of comments on how Knoblauch would adjust in a series given his record in games later in a series. But this year there wasn't any adjustment, though. That is very true. That's coming in from James. Yeah, they did have that crazy record in games 4 through 7, right? Like with only a couple of losses. Yep. So, that's an interesting comment as well. 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Okay, Ben's got to do another update here. Jay's not here, but he has left a play of the day for me. Tom Gazola is coming up at 4.
The Edmonton Oilers are searching for new coaching staff after relieving head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart of their duties earlier today. Knoblauch was hired during the 2023-24 season and led the Oilers to an 135, 77, and 21 record, along with consecutive Stanley Cup final appearances. Edmonton has not yet announced who will replace the pair behind the bench. The NHL playoffs continue tonight with a pair of games on tap. The Canadiens and Sabres meet at 5 p.m. with their series tied at 2 before the Golden Knights try to eliminate the Ducks at 7:30 while carrying a 3-2 series advantage. Out west, the Canucks have announced major changes in the front office as Hendrick and Daniel Sedin have been named co-presidents while Ryan Johnson has been elevated to general manager duties. And at the Hockey World Championships, Team Canada announces that Macklin Celebrini will remain with the C as Crosby has been given the A. Over to the PGA Championships, at Ranamink gets going today. There's a 7-way tie for first place, all sitting at 3 under. Scotty Scheffler just got his way up there to tie the 6 other golfers. Also, some MLB action going on today. The Pirates beat the Rockies. Reds beat the Nationals 15-1. Mets beat the Tigers 9-4. The Brewers beat the Padres 7-1. Twins beat Marlins 9-1. Mariners beat the Astros 8-3. Top of the 9th inning, Cardinals up 5-4 on the Athletics. And then later today, the Phillies and Red Sox, Cubs and Braves, Royals and White Sox, and Giants and Dodgers will end off the night of MLB action. The sports update is brought to you by Say the Reid Sport Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Say the Reid Sport Medicine. Call 780-460-9977 or visit their website at saythereidsportmed.ca to book an appointment today. Reid Wilkins Show continues on here after the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Craig Button.
Leon Draisaitl said we've gone backwards. I've been very clear. 75 to 80% of this is on management. Go and change the coach. Bruce Cassidy's a hell of a coach. Feels like everybody wants to run Kris Knoblauch out of town. So chase him out of there. Bring in a new coach. They're not going anywhere near the Stanley Cup if they don't improve the roster. Full stop.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Some of us are walking, others are biking. Together, we are accelerating the pace of MS research breakthroughs. This May, join Sentinel Storage at an MS walk in your community. Sentinel Storage, proud partner of MS Canada.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket, a deal, one donor, letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant,
learning,
trying,
building skills,
building confidence,
building a future.
One purchase, one donation,
one job, one choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one. The power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Somewhere, someone is sitting on a patio that is literally part of the parking lot. They're hot, uncomfortable, and bored. Do not be that person. The Canadian Brewhouse has a rooftop, real turf, misters, fire tables, patio games, big screens, and zero reason to be bored. This summer, your standards are higher than a parking lot, and you know it. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation. With options for every style and budget, open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. The Oilers are looking for a head coach. Kris Knoblauch out. Assistant Mark Stuart also gone. We will have comments from Stan Bowman throughout the course of the show today. I'm with you until 6 o'clock. Jason Milne worked an earlier show today, so he is not here today, but we are 3 to 6 p.m. every weekday on Edmonton Sports Talk. And, of course, every day we do this.
It's Jay. It's play, he's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
And it is presented by Play Alberta. When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. PlayAlberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's PlayAlberta.ca/EST. Have to be 18 and older to play, and if you gamble, use your game sense. So here's what Mr. Milne has left us today. Pretty simple. Now go to PlayAlberta.ca or the Play Alberta app. Go to sports. Go to EST specials. We have a lot of stuff there. I mean, we have a lot of things to look through. But Jay's play of the day is the Buffalo Sabres to win. So that's what we call straight up, Benny. Sabres win the game.
Yep.
8-1, 4-3 in overtime, whatever. Sabres win. And the Anaheim Ducks plus 1.5. So that means Anaheim can still lose by a goal, and that would cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Buffalo Sabres to win and the Ducks plus 1.5, and it's been boosted. The way I do my odds, it's 2.72 to 1.
So
would that be what, plus 172?
Yep.
All right, so not bad. Two simple hockey bets. You got the doubleheader tonight, right? Canadians and Sabres first, and that game is Game 5 in Buffalo, and then it's Vegas at Anaheim, Game 6.
Yeah.
So Vegas can eliminate them tonight.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So Sabres to win, Ducks plus 1.5, boosted. 2.7. I was supposed to adjust the odds though, so I'm not using decimals. Well, I can't do the math right now. That's Jay's play of the day.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right, and of course, we have the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. All right. Well, you know what? I got to get to a couple limericks here. Tube socks. There was once an Oilers regime whose planning resembled a meme. They'd patch up a leak they created last week, then announce it was all part of the scheme. It's pretty good. Tube socks sending one in. James has one as well. What is a bookbinder to do? No cube, no man of glue. Do not despair when Reid hits the air, for this is Mr. Wilkins' milieu. Wow, pretty good. That is very creative from James, who I think James and I sort of have I think it's sort of a friendly adversarial relationship. Not even adversarial. It's like friendly jabbing at each other, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah. Milieu meaning a surrounding culture. Your family, house, neighborhood, school, and people you hang out with make up your milieu.
Oh.
Did you know that, Ben?
I had no clue.
See, that's why I like James, because he drops stuff in like that percolates your mind. Yep. It's like my mind.
That is a very Reid.
It's like my mind is a little coffee pot now. Matthew Iwanek, he has possible selection to be on a jury. That's what he has?
Yeah, I believe that was
I went through this a long, long time ago. So where was it now? Box Pounder in the Nasty Chat. Can a jury member be charged with contempt of court? If anybody could do it, I'm sure it would be our own Matthew Iwanek.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Stan Bowman today. What is the timeline for a new coach?
I don't have a timeline on it. I mean, my simple answer would be we're going to go through a process like I just spoke about. But, we're not looking to drag this out, but it'll take as long as it takes. And I don't know that yet. We're not going to rush into anything in the next couple of days here, but I think we are going to let that play out. So, we're not going to stretch it out any longer than it needs to be. Whether that's a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, I don't know that. We'll get to that when it plays out.
Obviously, he didn't really comment specifically on the Bruce Cassidy stuff or in any media reports that were out there. I might have a clip for that we'll get to later. But I mean, you would expect that. I mean, I know people would want to hear about that. I would want to hear about it, but I wasn't surprised. I want to throw this in here, and we're going to get to Tom after the 4 o'clock break. Steve Simmons from the Toronto Sun was on the show yesterday.
He was.
To talk about Berube, and we got into some Oilers stuff and just how really the shelf life of most NHL coaches is. I think Knoblauch actually coached longer than the average NHL coach gets to coach.
I mean, he finished ninth.
I think it's 2 1/3 years, and he basically got 2 3/4. But this is what Steve Simmons said about the possibility of Bruce Cassidy taking over the Oilers.
Bless those players if they get Bruce Cassidy as their coach. It reminds me of one of Steve Schutt's great lines. He said, we hated Scotty Bowman, but we liked him one day a year, the day we got our rings.
Right.
And I suspect if Bruce Cassidy goes to Edmonton, go see the jeweler and see if you can get it fitted now. Save a few dollars.
That's
interesting.
That's some high optimism.
We'll see. I mean, we'll talk about that. Maybe some of you maybe believe, it's just the coach. Like Knoblauch was out to lunch. Maybe some of you believe that. I sort of gave my criticism. I think there might be more to it than the coaching, but we got plenty of time to talk about that. Tom Gazzola after the 4 o'clock break.
The EST Hangout.
But at the same time, is it really fully good for the health?
Yeah.
And as you're drinking alcohol, you're slowly killing yourself slightly or poisoning your body.
If you don't have the 1 or 1.5 glasses of wine a day, and then at the end of the week you have 7 glasses on one day, does that still count? Does that make it equal or no?
I believe that's binge drinking.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Worksite ready, Western tough. Lamley's Workwear is calling all tradespeople, oil and gas crews, construction workers, farmers, and hard-working Canadians. Built for the job with quality craftsmanship, job site protection, and cowboy-worthy durability. Trusted brands like Airy at Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed for performance and all-day comfort on the toughest sites. No matter the season, Lamley's has the workwear you need. Shop the full range now at lamleys.com/work.
LAMMLES.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff. Before the first snap, before the noise, before everyone else. This is Edmonton football. The only way to experience it is being there when it happens. Every hit, catch, and touchdown. Season seats, flex packs, groups, single games. There's a way in for everyone. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year. Get your seats now at goelks.com/tickets.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
The Edmonton Oilers have officially begun their search for a new coaching staff after parting ways with head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart earlier today. Knoblauch was brought in during the 2023-24 season and guided Edmonton to a 135-77-21 record, along with back-to-back Stanley Cup final appearances. The organization has not yet announced replacements behind the bench. The NHL playoffs continue tonight with 2 games on the schedule. The Canadiens and Sabres clash at 5 p.m. with that series tied 2-2, while the Golden Knights look to eliminate the Ducks at 7:30 as Vegas carries a 3-2 series lead. Meanwhile, in Vancouver, the Canucks have made significant front office changes by naming Henrik and Daniel Sedin as co-presidents, while Ryan Johnson has been promoted to general manager. And at the Hockey World Championships, Team Canada has announced that Macklin Celebrini will remain captain of the team, while Sidney Crosby has been assigned as an alternate captain role. The PGA Championship at Aronimink is underway as we speak. There's still a six-way tie for first place, as Scotty Scheffler just made his way, tying everyone with 3 under. MLB action also went down earlier today. The Pirates beat the Rockies 7-2. The Reds beat up on the Nationals 15-1. Mets beat the Tigers 9-4. Brewers beat the Padres 7-1. Twins over the Marlins 9-1. Mariners over Astros 8-3, and the Cardinals take down the Athletics 5-4. At 4:45 today, we're going to see the Phillies and Red Sox play. Then after that, it's the Cubs and Braves, Royals and White Sox, and Giants and Dodgers to end off the night. The Sports Update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood The Duke, locally owned and operated, serving the Duke and surrounding area since '93. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood The Duke. Tom Gazola coming up here on the second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Reid Wilkins with you. No Jay Millen on the show today. He was on EST Afternoons with Gager from 1 to 3. Ben Thompson is here at the technical desk. Of course, we're happy to hear from you today. A day like this, big news day. It's about the Oilers. A lot of people are opinionated, emotional, curious, whatever it is. We do have the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. That's how you text us, River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out their mobile app, free to download. Get exclusive offers and promotions. Get show tickets. Make reservations for hotel rooms and restaurants. Safe, secure, easy to use. RiverCreeResort.com. I'm sure you understand, on a day like this, there's not enough time to read every message. Sometimes we might get a text, like we might get 50 texts that are all kind of the same, so we might read one. Some of you are quite funny and are being, sarcastic or cheeky, and you may use language that we can't read on the air. Benny has read me some of those texts. I have laughed at many of them, but because of their content, I don't want to put those out publicly, and then I'll get in trouble for using those words. But we do appreciate you interacting for sure. The email, reid@edmontonsportstalk.com. Post in the nasty chat on YouTube. That's the chat stream going on. Give us a thumbs up. Give the show a like if you haven't already. We're 12 thumbs away from 100. So I do think we have a chance today for our high-end goal of 100. But certainly we should be able to get to 100. While Tom Gazola joins us on the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Oil Country Towing, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team, fast, safe, and reliable for over 15 years. Whether it's game day or a snowstorm, we work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. Tom, of course, the host of the Oil Stream and the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows here on EST. Buddy, how you doing?
I'm good. I miss you. I haven't seen you in hours, and now I get to be on a sports talk radio show with you and young Benny, which is wonderful. It just makes my day that much more complete.
Yes, well, thank you for missing me after not seeing me for about 5 hours. Pretty significant in your life, for sure.
Yes.
All right. It's good to see you. Thanks for doing this. So here we go. We kind of got the sense a couple days ago that this was going to happen. I guess a little bit of a red flag went up, or maybe a yellow flag when Bowman wouldn't commit to Knoblauch in the end of season availability. I'll start generally, Tom, and then maybe we can narrow it down based on what you say. Was there anything or a couple of things that Bowman said today that really piqued your interest or perked your ears up?
No, that clip, the way he answered before you guys went to break, he just skirted around everything and didn't really give much in terms of when the next coach would be announced. But I'll give him credit for this, Reid. He didn't shy away from the blame. And he did admit that blame deserves to be sent towards him, because he is ultimately the guy that helped shape this roster and gave Kris Knoblauch and the rest of the coaching staff the tools to utilize this season, the tools being the players, obviously. And he didn't shy away from the blame. Now, I know that's an easy thing to do, is say that you are responsible for the outcome of the season. But there are some guys, and we've seen it in the past, that will point at others, and he didn't do that today. I'll give him credit for that. But honestly, like, I know he spoke for like half an hour. I watched maybe 10 minutes, and then the rest of it was kind of like, okay, I've heard this. I'm not getting anything out of this. And a lot of the stuff he said, I'm sitting there going, well, that sounds like a load of BS, because I know that you're lying right now. So,
well, like what, for instance? Do you think he's out and out lying about?
Well, he's gonna conduct a full search. Are you kidding me? They haven't narrowed down
Cassidy if they can get him.
Right,
obviously.
exactly. Yeah. Like don't give me this. And then I'm not gonna scoff at, but we did a deep dive into and our due diligence and on a debrief on the season. Get out of here with that. As if. So there's stuff like that where I was just, okay. Like you say what you need to say. You know which lines to hit. You've been through this with different organizations. So a lot of it was just fodder. And listen, Kenny Holland would say a lot of words and go on and on and on and ramble and not really say anything either. You'd have to really like dig for a nugget of a quote, but the same kind of thing, just from a different person and a different perspective today.
Yeah, I'm probably a little different from you because I listened to the whole thing, both live and again.
Yep.
And I'm going to pull a couple things out of it. Well, I've pulled a lot of clips out of it, but I did pull some other things out of it that I'm going to get to as the show moves along. Yeah, I would agree with you in general about sports teams when they say that they are doing a deep dive or a deep investigation. It's probably not what most of us would consider that deep.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that these are all dumb people in hockey or other sports, but they're kind of like, okay, we weren't good enough. What do we think went wrong? Okay, well, we can't fix that. So who can we actually fix? Well, in this case, it's the coach, because clearly somebody higher up decided that Stan Bowman's not going anywhere.
You just summed it up.
Yeah.
You literally just summed it up in a 43-second diatribe.
But this is, and I asked the audience this today. And I know it's hard for people, like Oilers fans are emotional. They're disappointed. They're worried about McDavid leaving someday, all that kind of stuff. But I also said, if you put your other angst about the organization aside, are you glad that there's going to be a new head coach? Probably most people, Ben, have said yes to that. We're not seeing a lot of people jump to Knoblauch's defense, which is kind of what's interesting. No, but maybe this is all in the context of Cassidy. Maybe if Cassidy wasn't available, maybe people are saying, what's the plan here to really get better in the coaching department? Like, is it Laviolette or Everson or somebody else? I don't know.
What if Cassidy ultimately says no, or he sees a better opportunity with a different team, and that falls through? Like, how much of a cluster, what would that be? I don't think that's going to be the case, but it's just like a what if scenario. Here's another thing, Reid, that I glossed over. I should give Stan Bowman credit for, and it caught my attention, was talking to Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid and keeping them looped in on the process. He says he's going to do that. Do it. Make them feel like they're a part of it. Are they going to, ultimately have the final say? Probably not. But the fact that he said, yes, they're going to be part of the process. Good. Give them some responsibility and make them feel a part of it, and that they have a piece of this and they need to own it as well. And they have a part in bringing in the guy that they want to work with going forward to try to bounce back and become a contender again. That was another thing that I thought was noteworthy. So it wasn't all like rolling eyes and, oh yeah, okay. There were some other bits and pieces there, and that's one of them that I thought was notable and good.
Yeah, that was the question I asked. And I should say, unfortunately, I was later in the queue, so that wouldn't have, but some of the bigger questions were asked by other people. So I asked that one.
was a good one.
But it's weird too, because Leon and Connor, I'm sure, like if it's Cassidy, clearly they're going to be fine with Cassidy. Like I think they know his reputation. Connor would have worked with him at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
But are Connor and Leon thinking we need a coach who can inspire us to be better? Or Leon and Connor thinking we need a coach who can inspire the other 18 guys to be better? We do our jobs because we get 1,000 points every year.
Good question.
Yeah, there's probably, I guess we won't know the answer till we see how they play.
I know like them being hard to coach is kind of something that has come up. I'm not going to use the term coach killer. I think I've used it in the past, and it was more so towards the group, the core, in coaches past, I think going back to like Tip, but it can't be easy coaching those two. And I know it's not always easy coaching superstars. I would think that for those two in particular, if they can work with a head coach that gets them to buy into playing more responsible in their own zone and having a stronger 200-foot game, and they have that belief and are inspired to do so, I think that's important. Ultimately, I think it's to get more out of the guys below them. That's just my take on it. But I think if they feel confident and can trust whoever the next head coach is, I think that's a bonus as well. And that's probably an element of what they would want.
Okay. Smitty in the Nasty Chest says, why the hell are Connor and Leon involved with choosing a coach? That's a joke. Well, I'll play the clip. They're not going to be... Well, we'll show you what Bowman said about them being involved. I think they're going to be consulted. We're probably talked to about, hey, what kind of a coach appeals to you? Like, what does the room need? BBJ403 says, we need a coach not to play McDavid on the penalty kill. I would agree with that.
Yeah, same.
I was never a huge fan of that, except maybe in desperate situations. Jeremy says, no one is saying Knoblauch wasn't a problem, but he was the least problem in this pile of crap.
Good text.
Larzy says, why would anybody want to come to this crap show currently? Well, Larzy, I think you know the answer to that. I mean, yes, there have been cases in the past of maybe a coach or a player in a variety of leagues saying, I didn't think that organization was a good fit for me, and what he really means is I just thought it would be a gong show to work there. But whether it's Cassidy or something, like, you got to remember, like, these head coaches are alpha personalities, who believe in their own abilities, believe in how they can connect with players, believe in their ability to solve problems. I mean, if Bruce Cassidy looks at the orders and says it's a crap show, he's also looking at the orders and says, here comes your hero that's going to sweep the crap away. I mean, that's how they look at these jobs, Larzy. Like, I'm telling you this. Like, he's not, and plus, as despondent as a lot of you are about the Oilers, this is not the same as 15 years ago. When their best player was Magnus Piarvi or whatever, or one of the, like it is like Cassidy's thinking, like, deep down, Cassidy's probably thinking, I'm going to show McClellan and Hitch and Tip how they coach these superstars. They screwed it up. Old Cassidy's not screwing up. Like, that's how these guys think, Tom. That's my experience anyway.
Bruce Cassidy, I mean, there's people that speak. I mean, Steve Simmons, you played the clip, that speak highly of him. Pagnotta on Hello Hockey a week or two ago called him a finisher. And that's kind of the situation the Oilers are in right now. Now you need the right pieces, right tools to utilize to finish the job. That's something that's going to be burdening Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman this offseason, and I have my doubts as to them providing the right tools for Bruce Cassidy potentially to get this team over the top, but we'll see. Time will tell. You're working with a lot of good pieces to begin with. Yeah, but there is some gusto that comes with coaches like that. And, stylistically, I think that's something that's come up in the way the Oilers have played, that people have talked about them needing to change. And a guy like Bruce Cassidy, Craig Berube, Peter Laviolette, Dean Evison, whichever guy you want to use, I'm sure has watched the Edmonton Oilers over the last 2 years, 2.5 with Kris Knoblauch, and said, you know what, here's what I would do. I don't like how he's doing that. I don't like this setup. I don't like that. I would do this, this, and this. And then I think they would be back on the right track. And that could be the truth. That could be what actually happens. And again, you need the right pieces in place to execute the type of systems you want to incorporate and integrate into the team. But if everybody's on the same page, and it took a Kris Knoblauch firing and Connor and Leon being involved in the next hire of the next coach to everyone pulling on the rope in the same direction, then okay. But the way all this unfolded was bad. And it does look bad on the Oilers. And now they have to clean up this mess and try to make themselves look like a reputable team again.
In the Nasty Jack Coyote, Steve says, Reid, this team can't be fixed with 11 no-move clauses, so they just fire the coach, same coach that took them to the finals 2 years in a row, and they gave an extension, LOL. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. There are problems with the roster.
Yep.
And probably that's for shows down the road or free agency or draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, goaltending's a question. I personally, even if they keep Dickinson, I still don't think they have a third line. The reason they were better from 23 to 25, because a lot of times they had a serviceable or an excellent third line. So yes, that's a fair comment. I'm not trying to deflect that, Steve, but I'm sure you know most of it. Most of the conversation today is about coaching. YYC No Flames for me says hard-nosed coaches seem to win the most still. Maybe a 30-year-old McDavid is ready for the tough love required to get them over the hump, but the roster still need changes. Obviously, you have fair comment. A couple people thrilled that I've referenced Magnus Piarve not once but twice today. Jeremy says, did anyone ask for Stan to comment on the crap show he is in with the goaltending, referencing he could have been completely contract-free, or if he saw Kulak's game winner? Okay, well, Jeremy's probably being a little sarcastic. He was asked about the goaltending at his end-of-season availability. He answered it. You don't re-ask that on a day like today. And obviously the Kulak question, I'd like, why would you
here's a funny thing with Kulak, Reid, just to interject, I apologize, but there were some people, like after the game-winning goal last night, Dusty tweeted about Kulak. I just put up a thing, Kulak with a smirk face. And most people said, geez, wish he was still an Oiler. Or why did they trade him away? There were a few people that were carving him and saying that he wasn't that good and that he wouldn't have helped the Oilers at all. I have no idea what those people are smoking to reply that way. And if they truly believe that, like, he was an ask to make the deal with Stu Skinner and Tristan Jarry. And as I was told by someone from the Penguins, the Oilers folded. And then I was told, watch what they do with Skinner, watch what they do with Kulak. Well, they flipped Kulak for a second rounder and Samuel Giguère, a younger mobile defenseman that's been in the league for a while. And it benefited the Colorado Avalanche immediately, and the trade also will benefit the Pittsburgh Penguins, giving them a younger mobile defenseman. But to say that Brett Kulak is not a very good defenseman, especially in the postseason, is beyond ridiculous. He played 26 minutes last night, scored the game-winning goal. He's been excellent for them in the playoffs. He's been a seamless fit. I was very surprised that there are some people out there that are just like, no, he's not good. What do you guys talk about?
I found playoff Kulak to be better than regular season Kulak. I mean, he kind of was. I think Rashog said it once. He's a third-pairing defenseman who turns into a second-pairing defenseman in the playoffs.
That's a great way to put it.
And I said I'm not going to talk too much about management and personnel decisions today because coaching is the focus.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually say that It was, in my mind, it was defensible and somewhat logical to trade Brett Kulak this year.
I understand that.
But it's the people Bowman have brought in to replace other people. Like I said it on the morning show. Like, okay, Warren Fogle wanted to leave. Okay, you can't just throw $8 million at Fogle so he stays. You know, like Perry wanted to leave. Tough loss for the team. The Oilers missed that, but there has to be a point where you can't just throw millions of dollars after a 40-year-old player. But the people they brought in haven't been suitable, and as I have often said, haven't been competitive and intelligent enough, which makes me wonder how they're selecting players. Anyway, that's
for another day.
That's probably for another day and all summer. All right. Anything else you want? I've kept you too long. You're a beautiful man. Was there anything you wanted to wrap up with?
I'm here for you, baby. Whatever you want, I'm here for you.
You should be here for me. I deserve a lot of love.
That's all I got for you.
You get to hear this. We are over 100 thumbs on YouTube. So Paul Stanley gets to go home early today. If you haven't clicked the thumbs up, keep clicking it. We'll see if we can get to 100, which would be a nice milestone on another big day in oil country with Kris Knoblauch relieved of his duties. Our off-topic topic, Tom, for William Huff, other than saying relieved of duties, can you give us an alternative and positive spin wording for being fired? A couple I had is I was packaged out.
Mm-hmm.
I was repositioned by my employer. A couple people have said that Kris Knoblauch was promoted to spectator, or that he's been healthy scratched from the coaching position.
Yeah. How about allowed to pursue better opportunities?
Oh, right. He has been freed to. He has been freed to pursue other opportunities. Yes.
Enabled to pursue other opportunities.
Yeah, like it's positive. You didn't lose your job. You were enabled to go get another job. Right.
We're doing this for you, Chris. Yeah. Even though it's the biggest steaming pile of crap you've ever heard before. But yes, I like that. Well done.
All right. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Thanks for hopping on the show today. What a day.
You're damn right you're going to see me tomorrow, baby. Thanks for having me.
That is Tom Gazola checking in on the Oil Country Towing Hotline as Ben Thompson and I are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Arena energy, but no tickets required. Catch all the playoff hockey action live at the Canadian Brewhouse this playoff season. The Canadian Brewhouse, our house, is your arena, and a doubleheader of games you can watch there tonight. 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We'll get to some of your feedback as we roll along and more comments from Stan Bowman. Here's Ben.
The Edmonton Oilers are moving in a new direction behind the bench after relieving head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart of their duties today. Knoblauch took over during the 2023-24 campaign and posted an 135-77-21 record while leading Edmonton to consecutive Stanley Cup final appearances. The Oilers have yet to name replacements as their coaching search begins. NHL playoff action continues tonight with a pair of matchups on tap. The Canadiens and Sabres battle at 5 p.m. with their series deadlocked at 2-2 before the Golden Knights attempt to eliminate the Ducks at 7:30 while holding a 3-2 series lead. Out in Vancouver, the Canucks have announced front office shakeups as Henrik and Daniel Sedin have been named co-presidents, while Ryan Johnson has been promoted to general manager. And at the Hockey World Championships, Team Canada confirmed Macklin Celebrini will keep the captaincy, while Sidney Crosby will serve as an alternate captain. The PGA Championship at Aronimink is underway as we speak. Still a six-way tie for first, all sitting at 3 under as that tournament rolls along. MLB action also went down earlier today. The Pirates beat the Rockies 7-2. The Reds beat up on the Nationals 15-1. Mets over Tigers 9-4. Brewers beat the Padres 7-1. Twins over Marlins 9-1. And the Mariners over the Astros 8-3, while the Cardinals beat the Athletics 5-4. The Phillies-Red Sox game has been delayed, but later today it's going to be the Cubs and Braves, Royals, White Sox, and Giants versus the Dodgers to end off the night of MLB action. The sports update is brought to you by The Ranch. The Ranch Golf Club delivers premier condition, top-notch service, and unmatched value every round. That's why we're Alberta's top choice for corporate golf events. Visit them at theranchgolf.com. More of the Reid Wilkins Show coming up after the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Brian Rashad, Bruce Cassidy, he's known as a finisher. He might be able to come in here and get it done. It would appear they decided to try and look into it, hoping that if it didn't work out or they didn't want him, they could just retain Kris. But the risk they took there was that it would leak. And it leaked. Now a whole bunch of money needs to be spent, removing him. And a real tough situation occurred where Kris, was treated in a way he certainly didn't deserve.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Great to have you tuning in this afternoon. Kris Knoblauch, no longer the head coach of your Edmonton Oilers. Assistant Mark Stuart also gone. Who's going to be the new guy? Well, we'll see. A lot of talk about Cassidy. We have it all covered for you here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Library Pat sending in a limerick to my email, reid@edmontonsportstalk.com. The coach takes the blame for the rot. Not his fault, but it matters not. Bowman, a free pass, should be out on his ass. Jari trade was the worst of the lot. That is coming in from Library Pat. All right. Ben Thompson is at the technical desk this afternoon. How you doing, Benny?
Great, Reid. Busy. How are you?
Yeah, well, you're busy and you're learning and you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You should carry yourself with pride. You should walk with your chest puffed out.
Yeah?
Why not?
It's too pale, apparently, according to Jason Milne and Joaquin Gage.
Your chest is too pale?
Yeah,
Why were they looking at your chest?
Well, and Matt, I was wearing a collared shirt on Monday, and Like there's no top button on the collar.
Oh, so
shirt.
it wasn't your entire chest.
No, it wasn't my
It's
entire
just a
chest.
small
No,
part
no,
of
no,
your
no,
chest.
no,
Okay,
no.
that's good.
Yes.
Yes, we do wear shirts here at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Well.
And even if we didn't, I would still wear one. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate. Let's hear some more from Stan Bowman. He talked a little bit about what was lacking from the Oilers this season.
I think we weren't able to build a consistent game this year. There were times when, I guess the one consistent thing was our power play throughout the year. That was consistently good, which is that was a strength. After that, it was a bit of a mixed bag. I think we had elements of it. There were times we showed that we could be a strong defensive team, but it was very in and out. There were times when we could score a lot of goals, but there were times when also we struggled to score early on. So there wasn't anything that was able to be a foundational piece beside the power play. And I think that's what we need more. Like, you need to have sort of your hallmark as a team that you can, when things do start to slip a little bit in a season, what's your baseline that you can always go back to? I don't think we had that. We had a power play, but that's, you sometimes don't get many power plays. So to have that be your foundational piece, it wasn't really, it wasn't good enough to get us to where we had to be. So I think we have to build that. We have to find that. What could it be? That's going to be up to the coach. That's really more of a coaching thing.
Okay, so, I think that, and again, everybody, this is Bowman's opinion. I'm interpreting what he says. I'm neither agreeing nor disagreeing, because I know from history that when I play a clip, sometimes some people assume that I'm agreeing with the speaker. I'm not. I'm interpreting his comments. He says that the Oilers didn't have a foundational piece. They didn't have a hallmark of their game. They didn't have a baseline to go back to other than the power play, which he says isn't reliable. I think what Bowman is saying is that the Oilers lacked an identity, or perhaps he said a baseline. They lacked a foundation. This is what he's saying, and he's basically saying that's up to the coach. So he's basically saying Knoblauch didn't put that in place.
Right.
He's basically saying, now again, whether you agree with him or not, and this is a good discussion point, I want to hear from you. He is saying Knoblauch didn't put enough sort of, is structure the right word? Or that he didn't, as the leader, say, okay, guys, here are some things that the Oilers do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then maybe we branch out and we were other things. But when we're having a tough night, or when we're not getting power plays, we can rely on this.
Right.
Maybe we're a shot blocking team.
Yep.
Maybe we're a body checking team. Maybe we clog up the neutral zone. Maybe somebody goes out and starts a couple scrums someday. So that, it seems to me, that's a very telling comment in terms of what Bowman thought Knoblauch was missing. Now, again, I'm not letting Bowman off the hook for trades and signings. I do think there's something to that, what he said.
For sure.
Because we saw how this team played, or perhaps didn't play all season, in terms of a lot of us talking throughout the year, like it was like they're searching for consistency. They're searching for something. We don't know who they are. They're not excited. They don't always seem together. They seem muddled.
Right.
So now, is that because Bowman didn't select enough good players? Or is that because Knoblauch couldn't build that and get the most out of the roster, even if it was a roster that wasn't as good as other years?
That's what I was going to bring up. Was, yes, I agree with Stan on the fact that there wasn't a baseline for the Oilers. They didn't have an identity. They didn't have this mojo to them that it's like no matter what goes wrong, we have this. They had the power play, but obviously that's you can't rely on that. And so I understand what he means by a coach is supposed to bring that, but at what point is it just, you don't have the players to be able to execute what the coach wants to bring, right? Yeah, like we talked about earlier, Trent Frederick was brought in to be a physical force in the bottom six, pot in the odd goal here and there, but more importantly, be an agitator. Have your fingerprints all over the game. We did not see that. For the first 50 games of the season, Trent Frederick was a ghost out there until there was banging, clashing, he got sat one game or whatever it was, and then he'd go, oh, okay, I gotta go fight someone. So he'll go fight someone, and then he'll go right back to where he was before the next game. It was the constant, and Trent Frederick got better as the year went on, but it still wasn't the capabilities I think we're all wanting to see from him. They were missing that identity, and Mex Bazzuza brings up a great message here in the Nasty Chat saying, I always thought at their best last few years, they were a counter-punching team, the Edmonton Oilers. And I agree with that. There were a lot of times where even when the Oilers were bad defensively, and they're giving up chances and all that stuff, but at least you knew that there was a counter-punch coming for the Oilers. It didn't always result in wins, but there was a pushback. There was a lack of a pushback this year. Now you could blame not Bowman for bringing in the players that were supposed to execute that. You can blame Kris Knoblauch for maybe not implying a better identity. But you also, injuries played a factor in this. Maybe it's just the fact of that they've had some long playoff runs over the past couple of years, and they were less motivated. I think all of these all play a factor into why we saw the Oilers have a disappointing year this year.
Right, but here's my counter to that. If the coach senses the players are less motivated, then it's not the coach's job to say, well, this is a piss it away year because we're so
100%.
damn tired. It's his job to figure out a way for them to play.
Right.
I'll read Jeremy's just because he referenced a dog in it.
Nice.
The Oilers' identity when they don't have it is the same as Coop the Corgi rolling over looking for tummy rubs. Klima's lid said this defensive structure under Knoblauch was brutal.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and here's what I'll say to that, Klima's lid. And the one thing I've talked about, and I think even Bowman brought it up at his year-end availability, there's defending in your own end, and then there's turning over the puck that leads to chances. Okay, I'll say it again. 2 2-on-1s, 42 seconds apart, basically one Anaheim Game 3. But why is it like that? It's because they seem to want to be this puck possession team. Let's hang on to the puck, have it for 40 seconds before we shoot.
Right.
As opposed to this, as we see how teams play in the playoffs, get it on the net. Can't get it on the net, throw it down low. Go hit their defensemen, make them work. We're going to work, make the other team work. Don't give the other team free chances.
Right.
And I think some of that is from Knoblauch, and I also think some of that is because that's just how McDavid and Draisaitl insist on playing.
Right, and you were mentioning earlier how Knoblauch, how you've perceived him as kind of this confidence coach, that he's just gone to McDavid and Draisaitl and just been saying to them, play the game how you see it, right? And that's how they're seeing it, is holding on to the puck. They value puck possession more than firing on net and creating chances that way. Maybe a new coach with a different mindset of, okay, no, like if he sees the Oilers are holding on to the puck too long and turn over the puck in bad places, leading to chances the other way, he tweaks that, right? Which I think has all led to why we're seeing a coaching change.
Right. So this is again, there's so much to talk about, and this is why it's so fascinating. So there's going to be a new coach. Let's assume it's Cassidy.
Yeah.
Okay. Does Cassidy? Because Klima's, I'm also agreeing with Klima's lid that the defensive play in their own end often wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Does he make Bouchard a better defender in front of his own net? Does he put Durst and Wallman in better situations where they don't get beat or turned around? You know what I mean?
Right.
Does he make Ekholm appear a few years younger, or you know what I mean? Like, so that's all part of this discussion, because let's face it, the players I just listed are all going to be on the team.
Yep.
As much as maybe we'd Some of them people don't want on the team anymore. 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You want to hit me with a couple texts before we break? And Dusty's coming up at 5.
Yeah, so I mean, back to what we're talking about, the Kulak situation you were talking about with Tom, and we've talked about how maybe this D-Corps has needed this guy, and he's over there in Colorado doing well. Nature Boy says in the River Cree Resort Casino inbox, says Kulak was one of the most consistent defensemen and hardest to play against defensemen on the Oilers in the playoffs. Getting rid of him as a throw-in on a trade was a gross incompetence. We lost a draft pick and a proven defenseman and downgraded the goaltending position and added to the salary cap. Well done, Stan Bowman. Insert golf clap here. That is what Nature Boy says. So I mean, and I agree with you in the sense of that was a horrible trade. It was bad the moment it happened. We talked about it on EST. It was a great, and my number bar just randomly shut down. So
all right, well we'll reopen that. We got a lot of texts to get to. Dusty's coming up as well. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. Next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. And when you're on Play Alberta, go to EST Specials. Jay's Play of the Day is up, as well as a bunch of other fun ventures that we've put together. Here's a sports update.
The Edmonton Oilers have parted ways with head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart earlier today, officially kicking off the search for a new coaching staff. Knoblauch was hired during the 2023-24 season and compiled a 135-77-21 record while guiding the Oilers to back-to-back Stanley Cup final appearances. The NHL playoffs continue tonight with 2 games on the schedule. The Canadiens and Sabres face off at 5 p.m. with that series tied 2-2, while the Golden Knights look to knock out the Ducks at 7:30 as Vegas leads the series 3-2. Meanwhile, the Canucks have announced major front office changes with Henrik and Daniel Sedin being named co-presidents while Ryan Johnson has taken over the general manager duties. And at the Hockey World Championships, Team Canada confirmed that Macklin Celebrini will remain captain, while Sidney Crosby has been given the A as an alternate captain. The PGA Championship at Arundamink is underway. It is still a 6-way tie for first place, all sitting at 3 under. And in MLB action, the Pirates beat the Rockies 7-2. Reds destroy the Nationals 15-1. Mets over the Tigers 9-4. Brewers over the Padres 7-1. Twins over the Marlins 9-1. Mariners over the Astros 8-3. And the Cardinals over the Athletics 5-4. Phillies and Red Sox has been delayed, but the Cubs and Braves, Royals and White Sox, and Giants and Dodgers will play later today. The sports update is brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff. Get your single game tickets today and be there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. Lock in your seats now at goelks.com/tickets. The Reid Wilkins Show continues after the commercials. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Kobe, though, is a guy that I would take over LeBron.
Are you kidding me?
There it is. I think he's upset. Is that the top 5?
Yeah, I think it's the top 5 comment. Here we go.
Give me Bill Russell's stats. Give me Will Chamberlain's stats. If somebody wants to put Wilt or Bill Russell ahead of LeBron, I'm not going to argue.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey sports fans, I'm Alistair Johnston with Canada Soccer. The biggest sporting event in the world is coming to Canada this summer, and we hope that you're just as excited as we are. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I can't wait to share it with the whole country.
Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of Canada Soccer.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket, a deal, one donor, letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant,
learning,
trying,
building skills,
building confidence,
building a future.
One purchase, one donation,
one job, one choice.
Goodwill is
The power of one. The power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey sports fans, I'm Alistair Johnston with Canada Soccer. The biggest sporting event in the world is coming to Canada this summer, and we hope that you're just as excited as we are. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I can't wait to share it with the whole country.
Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of Canada Soccer.
All right, if you own a small dog, could you put like little wings on him? So like the wind will just pick him up and is that parasailing? Paragliding?
Technically, yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, sure.
It's incredibly
you can
windy
do that.
out.
Yeah, you can do that right now.
It is shockingly windy. Like the building is shaking.
Yeah.
I know Jay and I have said that before, but I feel as if this is next level today. This is ugly weather. Is it not going to snow like in northern Alberta? I thought I heard that a couple days ago. Not here, but north of us. It's bad. I'm opening my weather app now. It says the wind is gusting to 46. Feels like it's stronger than that. The high on Saturday is 6. And is that rain or snow? Showers for Edmonton.
What day?
The high on Saturday is 6. Periods of rain, high of 6.
Well,
up to 12 on Sunday and a sunny 14 for your holiday Monday. Well,
wow.
I guess you got to find indoor activities.
How about that, eh?
Yeah. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, thank you so much. Remember to preset the station, Edmonton Sports Talk, make it a favorite, whatever you need to do. If you're on YouTube this afternoon, subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk if you have not done so already. And remember, hammer that thumbs up button. Give us a like if you haven't already.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must, you must, you must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
30 thumbs away from 100 which would be pretty good for a non-playoff game day show, as the Oilers obviously are no longer in the playoffs. Okay, we got the TV in here to work, so we should be able to watch the first period of Montreal-Buffalo if it doesn't start glitching. The day of the Blue Jays home opener, Jay and I were watching the pregame intros, and it turns out the game was already in the second inning because this kept
Really?
pausing and not catching up. So hopefully it's going to be okay. Of course, we're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. The wing flavor of the month is, quite frankly, a beautiful dish. Roasted jalapeno poblano, spicy, bold, bursting with roasted pepper flavor. Get them while they're hot for a limited time. I'm not one of those people, Ben. I don't plan. I'm not always planning fun. I'm not I'm not a fun guy, as you know. I don't have friends. People don't want to spend time with me. So when people are like, what do you got shaking up for the long weekend, Reid? I'm like, I don't know. I'll wake up Saturday morning and see what's going on. But there's one thing I want to do this long weekend. I want to get the wing flavor of the month at the Canadian Brewhouse. And we are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Stan Bowman answering questions today after relieving Kris Knoblauch of his duties as head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. So, yeah, I asked him, do you need Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid somehow involved in selecting a new coach?
Yeah, we certainly will talk to them, but they don't want to be choosing coaches. That's not their role. And they're in a different category than just a regular player. Like they're elite players that know this team, know their game, and know what. So I think we'll have conversations with them, but they're not choosing coaches. Number one, they don't want to do that. Like they don't have the depth of knowledge of what how to interact with a coach and a manager. Like there's a lot of elements to that they're just not privy to, and they don't want the pressure of choosing a coach. So they're not going to be picking the coach, but certainly I think they will have conversations as we go through it, but like they're not going to be in on the interviews or anything like that. I think it's more just sort of more general things about their game and about our team in general. And yes, we'll talk to them, but they're not going to be in the decision making.
Yeah, which is kind of what I expected. I mean, I think you would want to know that they feel good about the coach or the personality of the coach. But yeah, when I asked that, I didn't expect him to say like, yeah, they're going to be in. I mean, they wouldn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Though I would think you would want to make sure that they're comfortable with the head coach and it's someone that they'd be fine playing for hopefully several years together. Portions of this hour presented by the Edmonton Elks. The only way to experience it is being there when it happens. Get your season seats today. Our city, our year. Lock in your season seats at goelks.com/season seats. The Elks going through training camp. And remember, once the regular season starts, every Tuesday at 5 here on the Reid Wilkins Show, we're going to have the Mark Killam Show.
Yes.
We're going to be joined by about half an hour by the head coach of the team, win or lose from whatever happened in the Elks' previous game, to talk about that past game, talk about storylines with the team, and to set up the next opponent. We did have Mark on the show last Friday as well, but he's going to be on the Mark Killam Show Tuesdays at 5 here on Edmonton Sports Talk, which is going to be pretty cool to have him on board. 780-218-9999 is how you text us. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Tap 25 at River Cree has the $21.99 prime rib special. 7 days a week. Dine in and take out. 11:30 in the morning to 11 at night, except on show nights. The $21.99 prime rib special. rivercreeresort.com. Anything you want to read right now?
I mean, there's been a lot of texts that have come in. See if I can find any from the off-topic topic, because there was a lot.
The off-topic topic for William Huff: ways to say that you or somebody has been fired that puts sort of a positive spin on it, but except relieved of duties, because that one's kind of common.
Right.
That's even what the Oilers said today.
Hampton Steve says the Edmonton Oilers have decided to consciously uncouple from Knoblauch and Stuart, who are embarking on a journey of growth and development.
Consciously uncouple. I don't think I've heard that before. So they can embark on a journey of growth and personal development?
Yes.
That's pretty good. I wonder if Hampton Steve writes PR press releases for some company.
Yeah, and tap water on in the inbox as well. Knoblauch has been given unlimited PTO from the organization. We've got a lot of that over the past couple hours here. So this is it's pretty good. It's great. It's a great topic.
All right. Well, I'm glad people can still joke around and show some creativity on. Tough day for the organization. Uncertainty ahead, though. Well, I guess not as much uncertainty, because we kind of think Bruce Cassidy's going to be the coach.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet. I think we're going to get there, but we won't know for sure. We'll have more comments from Stan Bowman. Dustin Nielsen from our morning show, The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, is coming up after the 5 o'clock break.
2 guys and a goalie.
Does a coach who had an excellent NHL playing career automatically carry more clout when he walks into a dressing room?
For me, I would say yes. All the coaches that I had in North America, and even in Europe too, they were all former players. I had Claude Julien. I had, obviously, Ron Lowe.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said great job? Happy hour. Your boss said per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Some of us are walking, others are biking. Together, we are accelerating the pace of MS research breakthroughs. This May, join Sentinel Storage at an MS Walk in your community. Sentinel Storage, proud partner of MS Canada.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
The Edmonton Oilers are officially looking for a new voice behind the bench after relieving head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart of their duties earlier today. Knoblauch joined the organization during the 2023-24 season and led Edmonton to an 135-77-21 record, including 2 straight appearances in the Stanley Cup Final. No replacements have been announced at this time. The NHL playoffs continue tonight with a pair of games. The Canadiens and Sabres square off in a couple of minutes, with their series tied 2-2, while the Golden Knights can eliminate the Ducks at 7:30. Vegas holding a 3-2 advantage in that series. In Vancouver, the Canucks have reshaped their front office by naming Henrik and Daniel Sedin as co-presidents, while Ryan Johnson has been promoted to general manager. And over at the Hockey World Championships, Team Canada announced that Macklin Celebrini will continue to be wearing the captain's C, while Sidney Crosby has been named as an alternate captain. The PGA Championship is underway as we speak. Still a 6-way tie with 3 under. And MLB action, we saw the Pirates beat the Rockies 7-2. The Reds beat the Nationals 15-1. Mets beat the Tigers 9-4. Brewers over the Padres 7-1. Twins beat the Marlins 9-1. Mariners 8-3 over the Astros. And the Cardinals over the Athletics 5-4. Phillies and Red Sox currently delayed, but the Cubs and Braves, Royals, White Sox, and Giants and Dodgers will round out your MLB action tonight. Dustin Nielsen coming right up here on the Hour 3 of the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
Dustin Nielsen coming up right away. I want to get to this cut of audio here. Stan Bowman, GM of the Oilers, earlier today, taking questions shortly after Knoblauch's firing was announced. Bowman was asked, do the top guys on your team need to be more committed to playing defense?
I think that would help. Yeah, there's no question that, there's always that give and take I've been fortunate to be around elite offensive players. And, there is that fine line they do things that no one else can do. And, there is an element of risk to that. So I think it's calibrating that right is the Midas touch. How can you not take away from what they can do that no one else can do. But you're right. There's elements of their game that at times weren't, that wasn't a strength. So that would help without a doubt. And it's not just those guys. I think it goes across the lineup. I think sometimes when I've also seen this, when you have a team with some elite offensive players and you're around those guys every day, watching them in practice, and you're on the bench watching them do this in games, you start to think, well, maybe I can try that. And then you've got players that don't have the ability to pull it off at nearly the success rate that the top guys do. And then they start trying to play that way. And then that's a bad combination. So I think you're right, Mark. It's there's an element of that. I don't want to say it's just on them, though. I think that they can improve that part of their game. And I think our team in general can and needs to if we want to be successful.
All right, so that's the reply there. If the Oilers' top guys need to be more committed to defense, and he basically said yes, but they do some other special things, and of course talked about the whole team needing to be better. Will a new coach make a difference? Who's the new coach going to be? Dustin Nielsen from our morning show here on Edmonton Sports Talk checks in now. Dusty, how are you doing?
I am doing just fine, man. How's the show been going today?
Yeah, well, it's good. I do enjoy days like this because there's a lot to talk about, and it's a big news day. Like I said off the top of the show, I've done a few of these in different as have you. Though I think somebody said the average tenure of a NHL coach is about 2 1/3 years. So Knoblauch actually beat that out. But it was just that he had the extension coming in. Look, you and I watched the Bowman availability together on Zoom, and now you're processing it. You've talked about it. You've heard some of the clips I've been playing. Yeah. Is there a kernel in all this or two that you pull away and say this is really key to remember here about why he did this or what we're thinking moving forward?
Yeah, I do want to talk about the McDavid Draisaitl stuff for sure, but we can come back to that. I think I got the sense that he believes in the roster a lot more than everybody else does. And I think that's the one thing that we, 12 months from now, we either come back and look and go, Stan Bowman was right or Stan Bowman was wrong. Like if they don't make a drastic change to the roster and they just bring it back and keep Murphy and maybe keep Ingram and maybe go out and get a top 6 forward or maybe just bring Dickinson back. To me, he kind of went through the process. Like he said, how many times did he say thorough process? He said they evaluate everything on a thorough process. And in the end, to him, coaching was the thing that needed to be changed, which means that he didn't think the coach was doing a good job with the players that he provided for him. So even the way when he said, I think it was DVD that asked him about, did the coach and the GM see eye to eye on the roster all times? And he said, I believe he used the term, it was out of sync at times. And there were some players that were playing in roles that Stan didn't think that they should be playing in, which we talked about it on Two Guys and a Goalie today. Like, who's he talking about? I think he'd be talking about Frederick. I think he'd be talking about Mangiapane. I'm not too like David Tomasek. Like outside of that, I think a lot of guys, like I thought Knoblauch handled Savoy very well. It's not like he rushed Savoy along. By all accounts, Leon loves playing with Podkolzin, so he probably was where he needed to be. Kapanen was good when he got with Leon. So I don't know who he was talking about outside of Frederick and Mangiapane. And if that's the evaluation of those players, that they would have been better if they were coached better, then I would question that a little bit. But I do think that was the biggest thing that I took away is that I think he believes, or at least it came across today. I mean, and it's his roster, so I understand that he's going to say that, but I do think that he believes in the roster as it's currently constructed much more than everybody else in the city does.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I think a lot of us don't think it was that. Well, even Leon and Connor said it's not as good. Like one of them even listed off guys who left.
Yeah,
which I've been saying, like it's fine to trade guys or not overpay to keep your own free agents, but you have to replace them with similar or better players. I don't. Again, I don't necessarily blame Bowman for letting Perry walk or Fogle walk or even trading CeCe or Kulak. It's like, are you bringing in a player with a similar dimension or a better dimension?
Well, I mean, Reid, one of the things, like, obviously Mark Stuart was let go as well. They didn't like their penalty kill this year. Their penalty kill in 2024 playoffs was probably the strength of the team.
Yes.
And they basically moved all those guys who were killing penalties. Like, a lot of the guys who were on that penalty kill were either jettisoned that offseason or the following offseason. So we can look at it and once again say it's coaching, but we can also look at it and go say, hey, actually traded like 60% of the penalty killers from what was the best penalty kill you had in a decade. So maybe it shouldn't be as good as it was. So,
or they got older like Henrique.
Yeah, or they got older like Henrique. But once again, like you said, they didn't replace him with people who can do that job, which I think is something that would have to be a little bit of a concern. The McDavid and Draisaitl stuff's very interesting. Like, you just played that clip, and we were talking about one of the other clips earlier when he's talking about the coaching process. That was your question, I think. And like, he says, yeah, definitely those guys have to do better defensively, and I think you got to move along from the buts. Like, I think the answer should have just been absolutely they need to be better defensively. Not it would help that they can be better defensively, but they do a lot of special things too. Like, if you're going to win a Stanley Cup, the answer to that question should be absolutely. There's no buts. Everybody has to be on the same page, whether you're Connor McDavid or you're a guy on the fourth line. If you're going to commit to defense as a team, hell, it should probably start with those two guys. Like, it should have been absolutely those two guys have to set the tone, but instead it was absolutely. But, they do some other things. To me, you're already giving them a little bit of a pass because they're so special in other elements of the game that they don't need to 100% commit all the time defensively. So that was interesting. And then, I mean, the McDavid and Draisaitl, he also said when they talked about the search for a coach that you asked, he did say, those two guys are, different players than everybody else. And I get it. We all understand that they are. But I think if the team is going to win as a team, which is how it's probably going to have to be, I mean, I don't know if they need to be treated as much as special players as they have for the last little while. So we'll see if the new coach can come in and change that. If he feels that it's necessary, if Leon and Connor will allow it. So we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah. And this is a really interesting discussion, Dusty. And I want to preface this by saying, I'm not blaming McDavid or Draisaitl. Like, generally teams don't lose because of their star players. Like, generally the best players do as much as they can, even on lousy teams, right? And I can remember when they got swept by the Jets, like Brownie and I going on, and I was like, they don't have a third line. And Rob was like, they don't even have a second line. Like, it's basically, it was basically Connor and Leon and a little bit of Nuge. But this year, like, there is sort of, I feel like the big guys are taking a little more blame, like, not just from us, but from some of the fans too. Like, where was Connor digging in? Where was Leon saying he wants to win the Selke? And then right from the first period of the first game, it was like, yeah, he's not winning the Selke. you know what I mean? So, yeah, those guys.
That's, like, to me, it's not like, it's not a shot at those guys. It's a shot at how the team needs to operate. Like, those guys are great players. If, in fact, like, do they need to be better defensively? Well, you played Connor McDavid on the penalty kill for 86 minutes and 39 seconds this year. So, yeah, I think he needs to be better defensively. Like, if you're going to have these guys playing these roles, they have to be willing to commit to it. I don't care if they're going to get 130 points as well. Like, it's just too much of a free pass to go, like, they're not great defensively, but look what they do offensively. But yeah, that's led to not a championship. So yeah, it's those guys. We get it. They are special, but they can still be special even if everybody is attacking this thing as a team, right? Like, and I think that is probably where Knoblauch, I'm not going to hang it all on him, but I think that's probably where, the plot was kind of lost a little bit over the last 12 months or so. So, and look, in the playoffs this year, I thought, it was by far the worst that we've seen Connor in the playoffs so far. And Draisaitl kind of, tried to plug along through it, obviously an injury, and Connor too. But like, those guys just looked gassed. Like, I honestly believe that they were just absolutely exhausted, banged up. And I think that showed. I mean, that's why they went out to the Ducks in the first round. I think those two guys had probably had enough hockey over the last 2.5 years, and were not as fully invested in that playoff series as other teams in the playoffs this year are. I think if you watch the games, I don't know how you could disagree with me.
Buffalo has scored 2 minutes into the first period. McDiesel put in the chat, says, Reid's totally not watching the game. Yeah, well, obviously I'm hosting a sports show. I'm doing my best to watch the game.
Man, Buffalo's had good starts in this series. They've had good starts.
Well, guess how it happened, though, Dusty. Just a shot from the outside with traffic in front.
What's traffic in front?
Something the Oilers refused to do unless you were.
Are you telling me that the Sabres didn't pass it around the outside or try to only score exclusively off the rush?
Sometimes it's like the Oilers thought there was a 3-point line.
Because they were they were a bit of a perimeter team this year. I thought watching. I mean, I'm not going to say every single series, but watching a lot of the series. Trev and I were talking about it off the air this morning. A lot of these teams sustain a ton of pressure in the offensive zone, and the Oilers just did not have that this season. And that could be a coaching, systems thing, or it could just be, the roster constructed to not have the right guys to go after it at certain times. So we'll see what's next. I mean, it feels like it's a pretty short list. I know Bowman said that they're going to go through a thorough process and interview a bunch of people for the job, but
no, they aren't.
I mean, Stoff has basically said it's Cassidy, and if it's not Cassidy, it's Berube or Laviolette. So,
you think it's Berube, or you think they're up there too?
Well, if Cassidy doesn't come, yes. I don't want to say it's Cassidy or bust, but you kind of got to deliver Cassidy now, right? It's they got to land this guy, and if it's not him, then. I mean, I guess it would be one of those other veteran guys, but I don't know. We'll have to. I mean, they better get Cassidy. I think you have to land that guy with how the last 48 hours have gone.
Yeah, I didn't. Did you see the goal score, Benny? I didn't see you.
I think it was Zucker.
Okay, and they had Jason Pominville banging their drum to pump up the
Jason Pominville.
Yeah, Sabres legend. Well, I guess in their decade and a half of darkness, he would be one of their. Did Pominville ever play a playoff game with anybody, Benny? Can you look?
Let me check that. Yeah,
81 games. He played 81 playoff games. I got him right here.
Who else was he with?
He was with Minnesota,
right?
But he actually went to the playoffs with Buffalo 4 times.
Oh, was he on their 06 team?
He was on the 06 team.
Yeah, he's even older than I thought then.
Yeah. Pominville was with the Sabres from they drafted him, and then he was there till 2013. Then he went to Minnesota, and then he went back to Buffalo. Wrapped it up, started in Buffalo, finished in Buffalo. That's why he's back banging the drum or whatever it is.
Okay. Before I gotta. Did you see this? What's this kid's name again? What's it, Higo? What's this? Garrick Higo.
Oh, is this the guy who was late to his PGA Championship?
So I was watching the video, and then I watched some of his post round. He says he was so I can't remember the time, but he was I was teeing off at 6:18, and I got there at 6:18:30. But I'm also okay, I get it, but that's not how golf works. Even when you and I, we've only been able to golf together a couple times, but if we were golfing at 2, it's not like we're showing up in our cars at 2:00 and telling the starter, what do you mean? We were here. You gotta be ready to hit at 2:00.
I will say that I have had the odd round at the ranch at 1:20 that I have showed up at 1:24, but that's a round with my buddies on a Wednesday afternoon. This is the bloody PGA Championship. My one buddy texted me this one tweet, and it was Higo was late to his tee time this morning in the first major of his career. It's the first major of his career. And then it goes on to say, Scotty Scheffler went to jail and still made his tee time.
That's right. That's a good point.
It's just, how do you, I guess people have routines. I think he said he sort of always cuts it close. But you'd think you'd give it a couple extra minutes for the first tee time in a major in your career. That's a bad look. And I think he was -1. So he went -3 on the day because he got a 2-stroke penalty to start.
Yeah, he just said, well, I guess I got to shoot a low score, which I guess is all you could do.
Yeah, but what's the leaderboard right now? Because when I got home today.
I think. Is anybody 4 under yet, Benny? I'm just refreshing it here.
It's all 3 under. Like a
but he's
5 or 7
Scheffler's
guys.
still out there, I think.
He
at
is,
3
yeah.
under.
But this guy shot 3 under today, but because of his penalty, he's only at 1 under. Like, if you weren't
that's right.
late for your tee time, you'd be tied for first at the PGA Championship right now. So, yeah, that's wild to me, man. I don't understand how you live with yourself after that.
It's just you could see this. He goes up there, and the starter's like, "You're late," and he's like, "Okay, it's the 2 strokes." Oh yeah, right.
I don't know. Maybe he's just looking to go viral today. I never heard of him before.
I
So
never heard of him
maybe-
before either.
Yeah.
I think he's Australian, isn't he?
He's from somewhere else. Yeah, I saw the flag next
no,
to
he
his
might
name.
be South African.
Ooh,
My
the
mistake.
Habs have scored, boys.
Where's he from?
1-1.
Oh, we got a goal? Oh, it hasn't happened here yet. Oh, wow, this is exciting.
Oh, I think. Hey, I'll bet you $50 it's Caulfield.
Well, on
we're way behind
on
here.
the Screw It Let's Do It parlay, we have Caulfield over 1.5 goals. So there's one.
Yeah, he is South
Jeez, who
African.
put that on the? That's a.
Gage and I both wanted to do Caulfield goal, so we decided
So you took
to do it.
2.
Well, we're
Wow, this
way
could really help
behind
you.
here. Like the Sabres have the puck.
You must be quite a ways behind because it says like Montreal's had 4 shots in a row and then buried one.
Okay.
So
Well, this
yeah,
is like, I gotta.
I
watch
feel that
closely
this is like
now.
the future. I feel like I'm in the future. This is kind of neat.
There
What
it
a
was.
goal.
Suzuki, good pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, this is
Beautiful.
what my point was. This line does not always look like their number 1 line because of how they're playing.
They've not been good 5-on-5 that line so far in the playoffs. I mean, I think it's time for those guys to step up. And their power play, and those guys are, I mean, they're all in that power play. Their power play looks really good, but hasn't actually been like insanely efficient. It was 0 for 7 or 0 for 8 last game. So this is going to be a great game. This is going to be great. I was hoping that it was going to be pouring rain tonight because I wanted to sit here and watch this game all night, but Marshall's head coach for baseball has been like, practice is on.
What
So
time?
we're heading to practice tonight. 6:30 practice tonight.
Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I know.
Well,
I wish he
thanks
could
for,
drive. I'd
thanks for
send him
doing
on his
this.
own.
I know
Yeah.
you work very hard. So thanks for putting in some. Extra
Always a
hours.
pleasure to come on the Reid Wilkins Show.
I'll put in some OT for you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Email my dad and tell him I worked a little bit longer today.
I will.
Yeah.
talk
Okay,
to
see you,
soon,
man.
buddy. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Dustin Nielsen from the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric joining us on the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Of course, heavy discussion today on the orders relieving Kris Knoblauch of his duties as head coach of the team. Assistant Mark Stuart also out. Bowman says no timeline for a new coach. Maybe November he'll get around to it. Wouldn't that be something? Tell you what. We need 19 thumbs on YouTube to have a 100 and thumb show, which is truly special. So if for some reason you have not given the show a thumbs up, please do so. Or send the show link off to somebody else. Or if you have time to pop in from iHeart or tune in and give us the thumb, that would be incredible. Big news day. We're taking advantage of it with a good audience. So give us that thumbs up. What has the NHL just released? Conference finals schedule scenarios. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So the Western Conference final will start Wednesday, May 20th, regardless of who's in it. The Western Conference final schedule is set. The Eastern Conference final would be okay. So it just depends what happens. If Buffalo, Montreal is decided in 6 games, it starts on Tuesday. If it goes 7 games, it's on the 21st. So then the East final would be all the odd numbered days in May, and then June 2nd if they do that scenario. The Western Conference final would be the even numbered days remaining in May, starting with the 20th, and then June 1st if needed. And they've even set most of the, well, no, they didn't set all the times. But usually it's 6 Eastern, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for those. So anyway, that just popped into my email, so I thought it was worth mentioning. 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, turning 20 this year, so why not celebrate until October 26th with over $1 million in prizes, 35 winners of $20,000 in casino free plays. 9 brand new cars, 56 winners of $1,000 in cash. Again, all going on until October 26th, rivercreekresort.com. We'll drop in some more audio from Stan Bowman. The off-topic topic for William Huff. Tell us about how somebody is fired, terminology, other than relieved of duties, because that one's pretty common. So give us something like I said, packaged out, repositioned by my employer. We've had some fun ones coming in from you guys too. Did you have one, Ben? Or are you ready to go for your update? Ben's eager for the update.
I can do
I'm
the
delaying it. All right, go ahead, bud.
The Edmonton Oilers are officially looking for a new voice behind the bench after relieving head coach Kris Knoblauch and assistant coach Mark Stuart of their duties earlier today. Knoblauch joined the organization during the 2023-24 season and led Edmonton to an 135-77-21 record, including 2 straight appearances in the Stanley Cup final. No replacements have been announced at this time. NHL playoffs continue tonight with a pair of games. The Canadiens and Sabres squaring off as we speak. There's a 1-1 tie between the two teams with Caulfield and Jason Zucker scoring the goals. 2-1 now. Josh Doan for the Buffalo Sabres gets the lead for Buffalo. The Golden Knights can eliminate the Ducks at 7:30 with Vegas holding a 3-2 advantage in that series. In Vancouver, the Canucks have reshaped their front office by naming Henrik and Daniel Sedin as co-presidents, while Ryan Johnson has been promoted to general manager. And over at the Hockey World Championships, Team Canada announced that Macklin Celebrini will continue wearing the captain's C, while Sidney Crosby has been named an alternate captain. PGA Championship is underway as we speak, still going, and it's still a tie for first place, all sitting at 3 under. I believe it's 6 players, all at 3 under. Scotty Scheffler still out there on hole 17. And then the MLB action that went down today. The Pirates beat the Rockies. The Reds beat up the Nationals 15-1. Mets over the Tigers. Brewers over the Padres. Twins over the Marlins. Mariners over the Astros. And the Cardinals over the Athletics. The Phillies-Red Sox game has gotten underway. That's midway through the second inning. Cubs and Brewers are underway in the bottom of the first inning. 0's there. And the Royals, White Sox, Giants, and Dodgers will play later today. More of the Reid Wilkins Show in the final hour here. I'm Ben Thompson. You're up to date.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket, a deal, one donor, letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant.
Learning.
Trying.
Building skills.
Building confidence.
Building a future.
One purchase, one donation,
one job, one choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Craig Button.
Leon Draisaitl said we've gone backwards. I've been very clear. 75 to 80% of this is on management. Go and change the coach. Bruce Cassidy's a hell of a coach. Feels like everybody wants to run Kris Knoblauch out of town. So chase him out of there. Bring in a new coach. They're not going anywhere near the Stanley Cup if they don't improve the roster. Full stop.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's the weekend. The sun is out, and everyone, yes, even the kids, are bored. Bring them to the Canadian Brewhouse. Our patios have games to keep the whole family going, rooftop views, real turf to run around on, and misters for when the summer gets serious. Oh, and we've still got the game on. Always. All day, all weekend, all summer. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Well, Ben, we won't tell anybody what I've taught you, but I have taught you well. Texier scores, so now it's 2-2. Montreal and Buffalo, not even halfway through the first period. Shots are 10-3 for the Canadians. Game is 2-2. A lot of goals early in this one. The series is also 2-2.
Wow.
But, yeah, man, busy. A high-event game early on between the Canadians and the Sabres. We'll keep you updated. We're with you until 6 o'clock, of course. And our live stream resumes at 6 a.m. tomorrow with the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. You get it on iHeart, on TuneIn, on YouTube. And the Nielsen Show from 6 to 9, you also get on 95.7 Cruise FM. So that's awesome stuff. If you are on YouTube, we need 10 likes, 10 more thumbs up to get to 100 and... which is always a nice milestone. Do you know what that is from, Ben?
No.
That particular cut?
No.
That is from the Sammy Hagar song, I Can't Drive 55. Oh. That's where he says 55. So the song is like he wants to drive faster than 55.
Right.
All right. Apparently, now I don't know if, apparently there's another goal coming here because we're behind some people watching. So I won't tell you who, Ben. We got to watch.
I saw.
Or did you see already?
I saw
in
the
nasty
chat.
chat. So apparently we have another Buffalo goal coming.
Let's see here.
No, we're on our stream. The puck is still in the Buffalo end of the rink.
Darlene.
So it should be coming
up
soon.
To Power, I think, or Samuelson.
Do they have to take Dobish out?
Maybe. If this is a bad one, that's bad.
That's not great.
Oh, that's bad.
There's a 1-on-4.
That
basically.
is bad. Who's 94?
So yeah, Dobish kind of got caught sleeping a little bit there, maybe perhaps.
Something. Whatever it was, that's a bad goal.
3-2 Buffalo, 9:45 left in the first period. Oh, that's
Hellenius.
I think it's just Hellenis. I think I said it wrong. I was talking about him going into the crease a couple days ago.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just a Hellenis. I don't think there's an I in it. Are they going to put what's the kid? Fowler? What's
Jacob Fowler?
That's
that's their goal.
I've truly become like an old guy. Any player under 25, I'm not going to learn his name. Are they putting that kid in?
Marty's looking at his assistant. What are they deciding on? I mean,
no,
Dobish.
it is Hellenius. My mistake. Okay. There is an I in it. Who cares? I don't have to engrave his name on the cup.
They don't pull him.
No, but it's
3 goals on 4 shots.
Yeah, it's 3 goals on 4 shots for Buffalo.
That ain't good. Last I checked. I'm not very good at math, but that's not very good.
That's not good. All right. Well, a lot of action in this one. We'll again, we got it. We got an eye on it until 6 o'clock. Edmonton Sports Talk. Presented by Play Alberta. Now, we got our own little website within Play Alberta, playalberta.ca/EST. Go there, check it out. I think you will like what you see there.
Mm-hmm.
Playalberta.ca/EST. Remember, on Play Alberta, you have to be 18 and older to play, and if you gamble, use your game sense. Also, look for the EST specials. Oh, the Canadians almost tied it from our sharp angle.
If Caulfield can score another one, we are looking good on the screw. Let's do it. That's all I'm saying. It's Caulfield over 1.5 goals and Leo Carlson goal. That's we're hoping for. We already got 1 goal from Caulfield. We can get 2.
All right. Kostura in the nasty chat. What is everyone's thoughts on Patrick Waugh as head coach? I would not go there personally.
Me too.
I mean, he's done well with some teams, but he's I mean, we talk about wanting more emotion out of Knoblauch. I think Waugh is like there's sort of a volatility to him.
Yeah.
Wasn't there earlier this year like he really slammed one of his players? Like it almost was a little excessive.
Yeah.
Sort of. And obviously they decided late in the year to step away from him. So he would not be.
It'd be great for headlines.
I don't even know if he'd be high on my list or on my list at all. Forget about being high on the list.
I like. Oh, they almost just scored again. I like Cassidy, Dean Evason. I have time for. To me, there's other coaches out there outside of Patrick Waugh.
Stan Bowman earlier today was asked, did you not see eye to eye with Kris Knoblauch on the lineup?
I don't know if that was a big issue. I mean, I think I've always operated that at the end of the day, the coach has to coach the way he believes is like they've got to win the game that night. And it gets difficult when you start mandating coaches they have to play certain players in certain roles or certain minutes, because then if things don't go well, you can't hold them accountable. But I think, we didn't do that. It was, they're not always totally in sync, but I don't know that I don't think any team around the league is exactly in sync. I don't know if that was a big issue. I mean, there's certainly some players that I think, their roles maybe weren't what they should have been, but I don't think that wasn't like an overriding issue. I think that there's that balance between collaboration, which I think we did have. But at the end of the day, the coach has to do what he believes is best. And then from there, the results are judged. And, that's how we got to this point.
Okay. Who do you think he said, what did he say? There were some players whose roles were not what they should have been.
Yeah.
Who do you think he's talking about?
I mean,
David on the PK, maybe? You think maybe Bowman was against that?
Maybe.
Like most of us were.
I think, what Dusty was mentioning earlier about, how it was most likely Trent Frederick, Andrew Mangiapane, maybe David Tomaszek.
But this is what I don't understand. What
more can
what role did Frederick have? What role did Frederick earn?
Nothing.
Like, and I know whenever I bring this up, well, Reid, you can't do anything playing 8 minutes a game. Trent Frederick didn't do anything, regardless of how much he played.
Yep.
Even when we say Frederick played better later in the season, he still wasn't playing that well.
Yep.
Okay, he started hitting a little more. He was never really close to scoring a goal. And then he got scratched for 2 games.
It was rightfully so. We saw a perfect example of what you can do in 8 minutes with Curtis Lazar. Like, he was just consistent, safe hockey. I have time for if they want to bring him back. But that's down the road here in the offseason. To me, yeah. The coach has to establish roles, 100%. Did Knoblauch throwing Trent Frederick on the top line to start the year maybe kind of give him a false hope of where he'll play for the rest of the year? Maybe. Same time, though, if Trent Frederick goes and lights it up with McDavid and Draisaitl to start the year, well, he probably stays there for a little while. But he didn't, and he had a bad year, really bad year. It's looked like a bad contract. I don't think any of us were expecting Trent Frederick to be a top 6 forward here. This was supposed to be looked at as a third-line winger who can be an agitator and pot in the odd goal here and there and kind of have some good gamemanship. But we didn't see pretty much any of that all season long. So Bowman can have his not liking that Knoblauch didn't really give him a role, but Trent Frederick didn't earn a role. That's also part of this argument as well. He didn't earn it.
So Bowman mentioned it, and I would say that Bowman probably has a point, that maybe Knoblauch didn't institute enough of a foundation or an identity with the team or stress it enough or take the team in that direction. But do you think there's any player that Knoblauch made worse or underutilized? I mean, Podkolzin got to 19? Kapanen did okay when he was healthy.
Yep. Solid years from both of them.
Bouchard did have 95 points. Yes, we can talk about other areas of the game. There still were some good individual stories. So, it's weird. did Knoblauch hold the team back, but he didn't hold any individuals back? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like here's what I'll say. Like, and I'll steal this quote. I saw it from Colby Cohen over the week. He said that this is his quote. He said, "A good coach can make you 30% better. A bad coach can make you 80% worse." And that's kind of his philosophy. And so I see.
Sorry, who said that?
Colby Cohen. He's a former NHL player.
Okay.
So I mean, I see what he means by that. And in terms of individuals that, you know, maybe Knoblauch held back. I mean, like, to me, the biggest one this year was Jake Wallman to me. Like, I thought he had a fantastic playoff run when he first got here in Edmonton, almost warranting him that contract. I wasn't that big of a hater of that contract when it was signed, because to me, I thought he was this top 4 defenseman. He had a really good playoff run. He stepped up from when Matthias Ekholm was hurt. I thought we were going to see that for majority of the season. We did not see that. We saw flashes of it in the playoffs, which was nice to see. But for pretty much all the regular season, he was a below average third pair defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
And so but I'm also not willing to sit here and go, it's because of Kris Knoblauch. That's why Jake Wallman didn't play well this year. Like, to me, I think that's ridiculous. Yeah, did he hold the whole team back? Maybe. I just think there's so many different things you can throw into the season as to why they took a step back this year. But at the same time, I believe they'll bounce back better next year, and I think they'll bounce back even better with a new head coach.
702-1-899-99 is how you can text us, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Bowman was asked if this whole process was sort of unprofessional because of, you know, Cassidy's name being out a couple days ago and how Knoblauch was supposedly treated through this.
The process we went forward with was what I talked about in my year-end availability, which was the full assessment and review. And those things take time. Like, it wasn't something we wanted to rush into. I don't believe there's value in making rash decisions in emotional times. There was disappointment when our season ended the way it did. But I think you have to set that aside and take your time, which is what we did. We did an evaluation of our whole operation, not just the coaching, but that was a big part of it. Trying to talk to a lot of different people, analyze what went well, what didn't. So those things take time. I understand that, you know, people want things to happen quicker, but it takes as long as it takes. And, you know, we wanted to do it justice by doing a thorough review, and that took time.
A little bit more from Bowman on the process.
We have to focus on the process of getting ourselves there. And I think we saw that this year, where it's like we had this up and down regular season, but we're just going to be able to, you know, when the time matters most, we'll flip that switch and be ready to go. Well, I think we saw it doesn't work that way. You know, you got to have your process has to sort of set the table for where you're headed. And that's something that we're going to focus on.
All right. So that sort of gets back to, I mean, that was kind of his theme today, that he didn't think Knoblauch necessarily handled the regular season well, you know, created a foundation. What did he say in one of the earlier clips we played? They didn't have kind of a hallmark of their game to lean on. They didn't have a baseline to go back to. They didn't have a foundational piece except for the power play. So anyway, I mean, that's what he's putting out there. So now he's putting out there. Now he's going to get to pick the coach that he thinks can do that. So a year from now or so, if the coach appears to try to do that and they still can't win, well, now Bowman's the one who's probably going to get chopped. The first game of the NFL season will be a Super Bowl rematch. It will be Patriots at Seahawks.
Ooh.
So I guess the Seahawks are just going to have to beat the crap out of them again.
Yep.
Ben?
Yep. Damn right. I've still yet to pick a team for the NFL this year. I'm a free agent still.
You're a free agent.
Yes.
Exciting.
So and I'll say this too. I am not picking one just to start the season just because I'm gonna let a team that speaks out to me be my team.
All right. Well, maybe you can go by team colors or something like that. Yeah, why not? We're the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Head to the Canadian Brewhouse for every hockey playoff moment, the loudest place outside the arena with TVs at every turn. The Canadian Brewhouse, our house is your house. And hey, try the wing flavor of the month. They're good. Roasted jalapeno poblano. Portions of this hour presented by Lamley's, built for the job, made with quality craftsmanship and designed for job protection with cowboy-worthy durability. Lamley's workwear combines safety with all-day comfort, featuring brands like Ariat Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed to withstand tough conditions and deliver performance across every job site. Visit lamleys.com/work to see how Lamley's can make your workday better.
LAMMLES.
All right. Well, this is going to be exciting. You're giving me the words of the day today, Ben?
I am.
All right. Sports update first.
The Edmonton Oilers have officially relieved Kris Knoblauch and Mark Stuart of their coaching duties as the organization begins its search for a new staff behind the bench. Knoblauch was hired during the 2023-24 season and posted a 135, 77, and 21 record while leading Edmonton to 2 consecutive Stanley Cup final appearances. The NHL playoff action continues tonight with 2 games on tap. The Canadian Sabres are going on as we speak. 3 minutes left in the first period. Buffalo leading that game 3-2, while the Golden Knights look to eliminate the Ducks at 7:30 as Vegas carries a 3-2 series lead. Meanwhile, the Canucks have announced sweeping front office changes with Henrik and Daniel Sedin being named co-presidents, while Ryan Johnson has been promoted to general manager. And at the Hockey World Championships, Team Canada confirmed Macklin Celebrini will retain the captaincy, while Sidney Crosby will wear an alternate captain's A. PGA Championship still going on as we speak here. 6-way tie for first, still all 3 under. And in MLB action today, we saw the Pirates beat up on the Rockies. The Reds beat the Nationals 15-1. The Mets beat the Tigers. Brewers beat the Padres. Twins over the Marlins. Mariners over the Astros. Cardinals over the Athletics. Phillies are playing the Red Sox. The top of 4th inning, 0s there. Cubs are playing the Braves in the bottom of the 2nd. 0s there as well. The Royals are playing the White Sox. Top of the 1st inning, Royals up 1-0. And the Giants and Dodgers will get going at 8:10 tonight. Final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show coming up after the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Everybody starts throwing out the Sebastian Cossa. So the answer to the goaltending problems with the Edmonton Oilers in the biggest year of this franchise history, with 2 years left of Connor McDavid, is to roll Tristan Jarry with Sebastian Cossa, who has 1 game of NHL experience. That's where you're going to go to Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and say, hey, we got the solution.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
All right, hope you're having a great day. Kris Knoblauch out as head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. No timeline for a replacement as per GM Stan Bowman. And the first period wrapping up in Buffalo. Sabres leading the Canadiens 3-2. Shots 11-8 for Montreal. Buffalo scored on 3 of their first 4 shots. So 3-2 Buffalo after the first period. Yeah, the NFL schedule coming out at 6, though it's a lot of teams already have theirs or a lot of stuff is leaked out. But the first game of the season this year's on a Wednesday, right? And it will be Patriots at Seahawks. Do you like the Super Bowl rematch if it's available?
Yes, absolutely.
You do? Okay.
Absolutely. I do. I like to compare it to, like, they played in the Super Bowl. Okay, how are the teams different now? Has one improved a whole bunch since their final? I have time for it. And it's always,
What's happened with the coach's love life?
Yeah, of course, right? That's always part of it.
That's always important. Time for our words of the day for the Edmonton Public Library. Your free EPL library card can do more than you might expect. From books, movies, and video games to digital resources, creative spaces, and learning opportunities, there's something for everyone across Edmonton. Sign up online, epl.ca/sign up, or visit any of EPL's 21 locations to get started today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Okay, I found. All right, perfect. Here you go.
So we got it. All right. So Ben, Jay has left you the
resources to do words of the day.
Okay, good.
I will. Let me find the right board here for this. There you go. Okay. I will lead you off with halcyon.
Oh, halcyon. Halcyon. Halcyon.
I just had it.
He's trying to find a sound effect, everybody. I got a little ding.
There you go. There you go.
Just a little ding.
Yes. Okay.
And this means, I think it sort of means like your heyday or like a peak, almost like the good old days, like a time to look back on and cherish.
I'll give that to you.
What's the exact
pretty good
definition? I don't know if I worded it correctly.
Yeah, you're right there. Halcyon is often used to describe a happy and successful time in the past that is remembered as being better than today. It can also mean calm, peaceful, or prosperous.
Yeah, I think I basically had it.
You got it.
All right.
You got it. Okay.
Pretty good. 2 for 2 so far,
2 for 2.
baby.
You're red hot.
I'm looking good.
Red hot. Okay. If I can figure out this board better. There we go. Okay. And things there. Okay.
By the way, we need 1 thumb.
Come on.
1 like on YouTube to get to 155.
Next word read is metonymy.
Can you say that again, please?
Metonymy.
Metonymy. Well, Jay always tells me to go with what I think is obvious in my head. M-U-T-O-N-O-M-Y.
One more time, sorry.
M-U-T-O-N-O-M-Y. Metonymy. is wrong. Okay, I don't know this word.
METONYMY.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A little bit different for you.
A couple of Y's in there. All right. Wow, I don't know what this comes from. I don't even know what to guess for this. Like Met, but that's like if it was a city, it would be Metro. Is this things something to do with things that are in rhythm with each other?
Would you like a sentence?
Yes.
Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and Hollywood are common examples of metonymy.
Oh, it's a name for an area.
I think. We'll look at.
Well, it sounds like it's
like
a nickname for a place.
You're kind of getting there. Kind of.
Okay.
So, metonymy refers to a figure of speech in which a word that is associated with something is used to refer to the thing itself, as when the crown is used to mean king or queen.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't quite.
Yeah.
I think I understood it, but I didn't quite.
There.
I didn't
beating
quite
around the
get
bush.
It. All right. Well, 2 out of 4. I got the
bad.
The first one.
Not
Didn't
bad.
get anything on the second one. All right, we got to go. Great day. Thanks for checking out the show. Obviously, big news day tomorrow, all day long. Edmonton Sports Talk 6 to 6 on location at Popeyes, 170th Street and about 100th Ave. And we are at 155 thumbs beyond that. Great job, everybody. On behalf of Ben Thompson, I'm Reid Wilkins. Have a great night.